You're
listening to the RFBL Report with your hosts, Bear and Pat Downsky.
I only realised when I was up in Wolverhampton, the New Forest owner is an absolute cuck.
Truly, the rich get richer.
Juice, because I only drink juice.
We got some typical Peking bullshit.
Here comes 5th place New Forest.
He's cagey, he gets on base, he's a consummate pro.
Warning, things are about to get weird.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to a very special episode of the RFBL Report with myself, Pat Downsky, and my comrade in arms from across the Atlantic.
It's Old Man Bear.
Old Man Bear. Why is today a special episode? Well, there's all sorts of stuff going on. We're starting another season of the RFBL. We're in 2041 now, as well as there's a bunch of storms closing in on England and a storm of agedness, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I'm 27, aren't I? Fuck me.
Yeah, today is the day.
Day of the Bear.
Day of the Bear, Year of the Bear, maybe.
Year of the Bear, maybe.
But we're getting ahead of our tier list, I think.
Year of the Bear. No, I don't believe in the Year of the Bear, but sure.
It feels like it's always Year of the Bear until it isn't. Sometime in May.
As soon as the season starts, it stops the Year of the Bear, and it becomes the Year of the Men until the Year of the Men die.
Yep, there you go. Here comes 5th place New Forest, indeed. We will do the normal thing where we kind of describe what we're eating and or drinking because, I don't know, got to give the people what they want. But what do you got there, Bear?
I've got Captain Morgan's spiced rum and a massive bottle of lime Coke to go with it.
Lovely. I've got a Bonfire Brown from my local craft brewery, Tail Out in Castlegar. It's a little sweet. It's good though. It's good. I should be able to drink both liters of this and probably not be too bad off. It's not as strong as some of the stuff I tend to gravitate towards. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. We'll see how many breaks I need.
That's how you can determine the strength of the alcohol. How many toilet breaks is needed within one session?
Well, to be perfectly blunt, I did drink a lot of coffee. I had 2 pots of espresso before noon.
Oh so no!
I'm humming a bit right now. I had an Nanaimo bar. Maybe that'll bring me down a bit, and I'll be peppy in bursts and maybe slow in bursts. We'll see how it goes.
The floodgates are gonna open in about 5 minutes time.
Oh yeah, the floodgates. That's what we call it when I take piss breaks now.
Floodgates.
So we've been challenged, I think, to make a tier list. We'll bring our own unique insight to this bad boy. I have to say, I liked the other tier list. There's a few things I disagreed with our colleagues from the RFBL and their tier list. Some things that I very much agree with. I think this exercise is actually very difficult. I think we've entered into an area of relative parity in this league, specifically last season. There were divisions that weren't settled until the last day. Peking could have taken a playoff spot in the Scoshe right up until that last week. The Cold War division was an absolute Cold War. 4 of those teams could have made the playoffs at any given point, and 2 others were hung right in there till the end. The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, for the first time pretty much ever, was super competitive. It was a lot of parity, and I think that's largely carried over into the season. What do you think, Bear?
I think the Cold War might be not so close, but it will still be relative, you know. There's some things that have happened in the Cold War. It might have separated it out a little bit, but it's still going to be close, but not as bad as last season, where I think 5 teams or 4 teams were on the same win percentage at about 2/3 into the season, and then the top team was 1 game ahead and the bottom team was one game below.
The game sees 10 wins between 1st and 5th in that division. I'm just saying that's pretty tight still.
That is still pretty tight. Cool.
For comparison, it's almost 20 wins between projected first in the Mickey Mouse and fifth.
Yeah, but Mickey Mouse is always an outlier to the what happens generally.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But like that seems as good a place as any to start. Let's do some Mickey Mouse teams. Let's do that. We'll do a Mickey Mouse, then we'll jump over and maybe do like Hero Spammer, and then we'll come back, do the Scoshe, and then end with the Cold War. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me. I want us to start with a team we don't often talk about. It's the Newfoundland Growlers.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, I don't know, man. If I don't talk about a team, it's because I forget about it. No. Or they're not super relevant, and that kind of has largely described Newfoundland for a while, but they're still projected to be irrelevant. The game thinks they're going to get 59 wins and 103 losses, dead last. I think it may be underrating them a little bit, but I think if we were being honest, I'd still plunk them right down into the basement dwellers. I just don't see them being better than any of the four teams that are probably going to be fighting for second place or first place there. It would take a pretty big collapse from Soviet, I think, for Newfoundland to jump them. But tell me your thoughts, man. Hit me with it. Let me know if I'm way off basis here.
So with Newfoundland, we owe it to Lloyd that we actually talk about them for the first time in God knows, for the first time in what, 5 episodes now?
Well, it's always about like balancing, like saying something nice with without saying something at all.
Yeah. Don't say something if it's not nice, whatever it was when I was younger. I don't know.
Exactly. I like what they did here. Like they're small moves. Its net is about 2.5 war.
Yeah.
Like it's small moves, but like for a team that doesn't have, they're not blessed with a ton of budget. Small short-term moves make a lot of sense. I don't hate Bracamontes as a catcher. Like he's got a good character. He's a captain class. He hits a little bit. Like he has decent eye, a little bit of home run power. He hit 23 dingers last year for Rain City. Like that's a career high. Oh no, it's not a career high. What? He hit 35 once for Beijing? Animal.
Beijing bullshit. Beijing bullshit.
Typical. I don't know how anybody hits 35 home runs with that franchise, because they've got a very large cavernous park. Like it's a very pitcher-friendly environment. And hitting 35 dingers as a like almost practically rookie catcher, that's pretty impressive. I like this deal. $2 million seems really cheap for a starting catcher. And as much heat we gave for Jeff Mark's signing last year, I think Bracamontes is in the same class as Jeff Mark. Maybe he's a little worse. Like probably a little worse. But like for $2 million versus $26 million, I dig this for the Growlers. I really do. Right. I still put them as basement dwellers, but like I think they're on the upswing. I think this team is moving in the correct direction a bit. They need to do a better job, I think, of identifying talent with the draft, because like unlike some of their other expansion teams, they are still bottom 5 for prospect pool, and that is really tough to absorb, especially if you're not winning games. So I would really, for them to take that next step and get into the pretenders category, they got to have some young kids coming up. They've got to have some movement that direction.
So with the Growlers, they lost 3 players. One of them was a shortstop that's retired. That gave him a negative 1.4 WAR, I think it was.
I don't think you're gonna miss that guy. Like I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're probably not gonna miss that guy. It's probably for the better that Rafael Flores left the Growlers.
I don't know about Marius Iverson, the likely replacement. Like he's adequate as a shortstop. He's not really a glove, and he's definitely not a bat. Like the dude's career high is like 40 OPS plus, but he's not good enough with the glove to be a guy that hits for 40 OPS plus. Like a 200 hitter, like he's always right around hitting his weight. That's problematic. If you're looking for a spot to improve, that could be one.
What I would maybe do if I was the Growlers, I'd move maybe Conway Park into shortstop and see and scour the market for the next couple of days for someone who might have a second baseman that's like available. or maybe someone has a shortstop that's very glove first. That's not like
Park could probably handle it. Like his arm is a little weak, so I don't think he's ever going to be a plus guy. Like as a second baseman, probably within the top few at the position, right? Like he's not going to be the best or second best at his position, but
he's up there. He's not going to cause any problems for you at second base. But and at shortstop, he's not going to be a negative. If you do move him to shortstop, he's not going to be an absolute negative. He's got a decent bat. Like he's got
really good range. He's got really good range, and honestly, is a hitter for shortstop. Like if you put that guy at shortstop and he has like basically neutral, maybe slightly negative zone rating, and he's 100 OPS plus hitter, you could be coming out ahead there. I think shortstop's way harder to play than second base. I don't love their other options at second, but maybe one of these guys, like they have a bunch of third basemen still showing on their roster. Maybe one of those guys could slide in somewhere. Like, what's Theo Redmond doing? Theo Redmond can play second. Get real. Well, he can't hit, but he can play second. That's a Gold Glove winner at third.
There's options out there for the Growlers. Like, they can go look within themselves, or you look a little bit further afield, mess with the trade block market. Because I don't know what room they've got at the moment.
I think they're pretty tight to the budget, truthfully.
So they might be able to pull someone out the bag. And then you look in their AAA, they've got Pedro Reyes, a very high potential, probably a star closer for them eventually. When they got who they got from Pyongyang last in the deadline day last year.
Yeah.
You got Ji-Hoo Kim, another very good reliever that they got in the second round in 2038. So their bullpen's going to become very powerful.
If they can figure out, if they can get enough offense, however that comes about, and continue to be like good defensively, and have that strong bullpen, like maybe there's a way that they can punch above their weight. I don't think this is the year. Honestly, I just don't.
I still think they got 2-3 years remaining till they have any like sort of firepower,
I like Jose Torres a bit. Like they're not paying Jose Torres very much. He's been good before. Like I don't think he's going to be old Jose Torres, but like as a veteran, keep around. Like there's some players on this team that I like a bit. Let's just drag them down to the bottom. Good moves this offseason. They still suck. That's where we're at. Let's drag the Growlers, both figuratively and literally, down into the basement.
I've got to remember which one's their fucking Growlers.
It's the dog. It's the golden dog.
The golden dog. There we go. We got there. Right.
We got you.
Right. We
All right. Who else we got in this division? Soviet? I think Soviet's probably...
Let's go Soviet. I love A-Rock. Let's go.
All right. Let's do Soviet then. This is an interesting one too, because like they were effectively neutral this offseason. So the team that wasn't good enough last year has largely returned. I will say, I'm not missing most of what they lost. I'm really not sad to see some of these guys leave because they weren't super effective for the club. Like some things got to change. Ricky Cortez is okay. Yazagur as a catcher is okay. Jeff Carpenter could come back, especially for the price that he went to the Zabbys for. Like, okay. But like, I think that we know where their problems were. And I think that they have tried to add around that. Like their starting pitching was very, very bad. Very, very bad.
Yeah.
And adding, like, I kind of like Christopher Skarnor. Like, I think that's a solid ad, actually. $2 million. Extreme ground ball. Like, he's not a good guy in the room, but, like, I have this feeling like he could be a reasonable piece, especially with the emphasis that they've put on defense there. Like, getting some okay arms. Like, the Zabbys did this for years. They ran a good shortstop, like a good defensive team. And then they'd run these pitchers, and the pitchers would play good for the Zabbys and then suck elsewhere. And they could grab these guys, and if they don't work, it's fine. The term's low, the cost is low, just move on. So I think I see a little bit of that from our friend A-Rock here in Soviet. I think I'd either put them at the top of the basement dweller, like they're clearly better than Newfoundland, or near the bottom of pretenders, I think.
I think there'd be somewhat basement dwellers. Like the thing that makes them stand out to Newfoundland is there's one guy, we all know who he is. Everybody asked about him every year. It's Bachirov. And when I spoke to A-Rock last Wednesday, not the Wednesday gone, the Wednesday beforehand, because I was up in London watching Southampton defeat Tottenham. Very good day, very good night. The man will never let go of Bachirov. Bachirov will never go to any other team. If he has to pay 50 million to keep Bachirov at Soviet at the age of 57, he will do it.
I kind of like this guy he's got, though. Like, seriously. Okay, so you do this for me. Look at the Newfoundland lineup and then look at the Soviet lineup. They're completely different. Like, you don't have to do it. I'm telling you right now that if you say the big difference is Badirov, like, yeah, Soviet's best player is better than Newfoundland's best player. But if you look, a lot of Newfoundland's best guys, like Park is one of his best hitters for sure. Like, one of his best players all around.
Yep.
That's probably about the same tier as some of these guys like Yaramillo. Like, Yaramillo is pretty okay. Like, he's maybe Poimanov. Like, there's Park's probably better than both those guys, but like the average guy on Soviet is a tier higher.
Yeah.
There's not as many question marks for me. There's question marks like, are they going to bounce back offensively? But like, a lot of these guys are glove first pieces that are looking to support an underwhelming pitching staff. But I kind of like some of this. Like Tapio, Big Train, he hasn't played a lot for Soviet. He's only pitched 47 innings. That guy could be pretty good. He looks like a pretty good worm killer. Like a ground ball guy. Like, he's got a pretty effective cutter. The circle change might come around. Like, yeah, he's fragile, but like that's a big upgrade on what was there last year. Van Heck can deal a little bit. I think Skaranor, again, like, could probably be better than he was in Pyongyang. There's reason for optimism. I think the upside is probably pretenders. Like, I don't know that they're going to get into the bubble where they're really in playoff contention, but like, I think this team's better this year than it was last year.
Yeah. And their future looks brighter for them as well, I think, for Soviets.
Yeah, I think they've got an okay system. Like, it's not... I don't think it's top tier.
It's not top tier, but it's
Mid.
not going to be a disaster piece, let's just say.
Yeah, like, they've done some decent work in identifying and moving talent up. Like, I kind of like Van E in their system. Like, that could be a weird, fun player to watch.
Oh,
he probably should be playing higher than...
That's a bear player in a nutshell, man. Whew.
He's not fast enough to be a bear.
He's not fast enough, but look at that contact gap pattern and avoid K, though. Oh.
Yeah, he could be a really... Like, I hate to compare dudes to like a Hall of Famer, but like, and this means nothing to you, but people who are listening might remember Tony Gwynn. Played for the Padres legend. Was the only good player in some pretty dark times for the Padres as well. That dude wasn't fast, didn't hit for power, wasn't the best fielder. Maybe I remember old Tony Gwynn, but like, he just put the bat to the ball. The dude put the ball in play. He got on base through hitting the ball so often. So like, is Ted Van E like that a little bit? Yeah, I could see him in right field contributing, even though he's not fast, he doesn't hit for power. Is that a guarantee? No, but he's a fun player in the system. Like, yeah. Anyways, we got the Soviets. We've got them there for now. We'll see if they drop a little bit towards the top end of basement dwellers, but like, they seem better this year. Now we get into the interesting part of this division.
It's a dose roll between 4 teams, isn't it?
Let's just say what we're thinking here. I think that Pyongyang is probably still the best team in this division.
Yep.
I think they're top tier. I think they're the top tier. They're the most likely ring contender out of this group. I think they're definitely in the top. I think that last year they were a little unlucky between injuries and some like weird late inning stuff. I think they've addressed some of those issues, specifically in the bullpen with the addition of Wu and Lee from Newfoundland. Lee is a phenomenal reliever. He didn't pitch great in Pyongyang last year, but like I would bet he's probably closer to the 1.5 ERA guy than the 6.5 one. There's no way that guy can't be effective.
Yeah, like this year start like kicking people. The issue with him is his curveball's a bit sussy. So he's mostly relying on like the fastball, and then the curveball is not great.
Yeah,
that's the only problem for him.
I see that. I'm wondering where their other pitchers went. Because, like, weren't there better pitchers here? Like, I'm just looking at their starters, and, like, where did the good ones go? Oh, there it is. He doesn't have them assigned roles. I think he was giving some other guys a look. But, yeah, when I was taking a look at this team earlier in anticipation, Wang, Sanchez, Chuang, all solid pitchers. Ji-Hoon Park is good. Like, they actually... I know the others weren't super high on this team's starters. I think they will shock you. Like this Chuang guy has been very effective. He strikes out a lot of dudes. He's got some good attributes. He's a ground baller, has a lot of stamina. He throws a lot of innings. He's a little fragile. That could hurt you. But like if healthy, this rotation does stack up, I think. Right. And that's without getting into a guy like Arturo Gonzalez, who could start.
With Pyongyang is very much bat first, followed by pitching, and their batting is. Woo.
Like I don't love their center field. Like Greenberg's okay, but the thing is, when you've got as many solid bats as they do, you can carry a couple guys that are just going to be merely okay. And when you look at some of the bats they've got there, between Yafrikov, like Loic Feliz, at third base, like Marco Nieves, Aratov at second, like they've got like above average to all-star tier guys at almost every position. And that's without getting into a guy like Jose Cano, who struggled there, but has historically been both elite with the glove and with the bat. Like gold glove, silver slugger tier. I don't know how he's never won a gold glove. There might be some guys just running sentient gloves at the position, but like he's a very good framer and a very good receiver. One of the best defensive catchers, and he probably doesn't get the acclaim he deserves for that. Big part of his game. Anyways, from my perspective, you can just drag him to the top. I think they're a very solid contender.
Just drag him to the top.
Just drag him to the top. Like Yafrikov did. What kind of idiot would give up on Boris Yafrikov?
Wouldn't be me.
Absolute morons giving up on Boris Yafrikov.
Ring collectors, there we go.
For the uninitiated, there were 3 teams that passed on that dude. He went from the Soviet system to the River King system to the Butcher system, and then was traded as... he was with the Woodcucks too. Oh my goodness, he had a whole other stop. And he made the Woodcucks, was playing good, and then got traded to Pyongyang and just took off. MVP caliber hitter. They went through 5 teams or something ridiculous. Who else we got? I think that here's a team that doesn't get a lot of respect, but probably should. The Zabbys.
Let's go. Let's go to the Zabbys. Let's have a ride.
They actually added the most war this offseason. They added a bunch of budget and they added a bunch of war. I think the question is who they lost a lot. Like I am very concerned about them moving from Carlos Barada to Danny Grigio. And I not to say that Grigio can't be effective. He was only really garbage in Castlegar. Everywhere else, he's been consistently like a 80-ish OPS plus 2 WAR guy. Like especially for not a ton of money and no term. Like he signed him to a 1 year with a team option on a second. That's not a big deal. But I think where you're going to go is that Grigio is an average defender at shortstop. And Barada was like the best defender at the position in the game. So I wonder if the Zabbys pitching staff, which used to be a problem, I wonder if they're going to struggle with a few more balls landing fair, specifically hit to that left side there. Like right-handed hitters driving through without Carlos Barada and his sentient glove. That's my big question, because they've gotten some surprising performances out of some guys that other teams don't necessarily value a lot. Like Harry Fenton was really strong last year for them. Armando Cordova was like a borderline Holland winner. Alex Gonzalez has always been good, but like he definitely came back from the injury and was super effective. I wonder if this pitching staff will struggle a little bit without that steady hand at that elite glove at short. But like aside from that, I really like what they've done here. They've added depth on a lot of minor league deals. They've definitely added to a roster that was good enough to make it last year. So if you're running Muscles Dunn as your fourth outfielder, that's pretty sweet. Tom Blumberg, like a longtime isotope, he's been really effective in Kirkland for a few seasons as a veteran guy, bench bat, glove. Like he's an effective player, especially with the Zabbys. He's going to be a bench guy maybe. Added a good backup catcher, a lotto pick on Jeff Carpenter, who's been a 4-WAR player. Like added a couple of relievers. Like the Zabbys don't necessarily get the respect on the bullpen as well, which has been low-key strong for a few years. Like nobody really stands out, but at the end of the year, they got a bunch of 1.5, 2-WAR relievers. And like, I think this team is probably near the top of the bubble. I think there's a large range of outcomes. I don't think they're a playoff lock, because there are question marks there, but like they have a strong offense and their pitching has been really good for a few years. I think they're near the top of the bubble. I would say they could be first in this division, outside shot. Pretty good shot at second, or they could be fourth. Like, health matters too, right?
Yeah, health is very important. So what I think with the Zabbys, especially with the Grigio free agent signing, Grigio's just a short term, but whilst Antonio Lopez gets a year or two to get to a skill level where he's ready. That Zabby believes he's ready to play Major League.
He's almost there now. Like he's almost there. Like I'm getting a reasonable read off him. The bat's not quite there, but his bat looks like it's AAA level. His glove is already Major League.
Yeah.
I think with the Zabbys, they're going to let this guy play it out in double or AAA. Get some more reps, see if he can close the gap between his upside and where his floor. And it only takes a little bit more. Only takes a little bit more in the avoid K. A little growth in contact or power, and like this guy will be good enough with the bat to play and lock down that position for a good time.
Yeah, so that would be my understanding. Like he's got two world-class hitters in Caruso and Wasserman, like which is, you know,
a full season out of Wasserman would be really helpful.
Yep.
Because like I don't think, like, I love Kurosu. I don't think he's going to be that good again. Like there's not a lot of guys that hit 8 WAR a season. Is he going to be another 8 WAR player again next year? I don't think so. But like he's going to be 5 or 6. Like, but you have to find that value elsewhere. Full season out of Ming Zhang's eye. Getting Muscles Done, who's been consistently a 2 WAR player. Maybe Jeff Carpenter blows up a bit. Like, definitely a lot of potential in this lineup to make up for that loss.
Yeah. Like, the Zabbys, I reckon, would be a second place team, in my opinion. I think the Zabbys are good enough, especially in the way they play the game. It's very defense first. But
I note that Chris Trombley had a really hot preseason too.
Yeah,
like spring training there. Chris Trombley was like, I think he was slashing pretty good.
Yeah, Chris Trombley .911 in the old spring training. OPS. Man was having a good time.
Yeah, he was having a good go of it.
But yeah, like I think the Zabbys are a good balance in the batting where they've got solid guys defensively. You have Christopher Grigio. I think Grigio will be okay.
I think he's going to be 2 more. My big thing was how much is he helping the pitching staff? Because like if you're going from 70s zone rating, and you're dropping down to like say -5, that's a difference of 25 runs. That's 25 runs. So you've got to find either like 25 defensive runs saved, like with zone rating through the replacements that you're bringing in, or you got to find 25 more in hitting. Like you're basically looking to find 25 runs in your additions. I don't know that it's there,
but
could be.
But you have to think Castlegar is a very different place to the Zabbys in that, if I remember correctly.
Why are we bringing Castlegar into this?
Right. That's where he got the -5 zone rating shortstop.
Well, the thing is, he's a really high end second baseman.
Yeah.
But like shortstop, he's not quite as good. Like where did he play last year?
He played in New Jersey.
He was
New Jersey.
He was 1.2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, I took the minus so he could learn the position so that Jersey could thrive. So.
There you go.
You're welcome.
And now the Zabbys are gonna have him in his full pump, you know.
Yeah, I guess. Like, what's Barada been though? Like, what is his career? Yeah, dude was 25.2. So my point stands. Even if Grigio's like 1.5 zone rating, that's still you're gonna find 24, 25 runs. Like,
yeah.
I think that they are a bubble team near the high end of the bubble team. The Zabbys are the Z.
Zabbys.
The Red and Z. Red and Z, baby.
Red Z. I can't miss the Zabbys. They have fucking others, so I get confused.
Yeah, I don't know what's... You had too much to drink, my friend.
I would say not enough.
All right, so hit me. Who's the next one? Wuhan?
Yeah, let's go Wuhan. We'll leave the best till last.
Time to give for a rip here.
Right. I'll let you start with it.
I'm going for a rip, am I, bud? Wuhan lost the second most WAR of all teams this offseason. Mm-hmm. I understand. I see why they traded Kai Cherry, but like, that's a tough move. You're subtracting from your biggest advantage, and you didn't add to your biggest disadvantage. Right. Like their offense was middling, and their pitching was better than in Minneapolis. So in them trading from that and not necessarily adding, it's painful. Especially like they stole first place last year. Like they got into that first place and they looked good going into the playoffs. Like that's a team that I thought could have sucker punched some people. Right. They had defense. They have the defense. They got the pitching. The offense is, again, middling. It's not bad, but it could be stronger, especially against some of the contenders like Pyongyang. I think we said that on our predictions, that the difference between Wuhan's and Pyongyang's pitching is smaller than the difference between Wuhan and Pyongyang's lineup.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, they rolled them, right? I still think there's a reason. Like, Wuhan's a bubble team. I think I actually have them behind the Zabbys. And I think it's just the offense question marks. Brent Gurley is magnificent. Easily the best second baseman. He was close. Like, Jenkins and he are pretty close at the top. Gurley's younger and has a very robust game. I like him a lot. Luis Arias, really strong backstop. He's getting up there in age, but he's pretty good too. Like, again, the top of his position. He's rolling the dice on Bobby Gomez. Guy hasn't developed like he looked like he would as a top 10 pick. I'm not saying that he's a lost cause. He's hit at AAA. He's hit in AA. He hit in rookie ball. Like, he's hit pretty much everywhere he's been. I think he's a good player. If I wanted to go on a deep run, I think I'm hoping I'm doing more to try to do better than Bobby Gomez. Similar story with Burke Frank. I think he can be good. if I am like he was really good in 2039, so like we're talking about a potential bounce back, but like there's a lot of question marks offensively. Guillermo Moreno, I really like. He really gives me Jason Hayward vibes. Like he's like early Jason Hayward before he fell off offensively. Like where there's not really like one particular offensive skill you point to is carrying, but just an overall effective, efficient player. He looks really good with the glove as well. He's won a Gold Glove. He's been really effective. I don't think he's a star offensively, but he's really strong. I like that player a lot. I'm looking at shortstop. I'm not seeing a big offense jump. Bobby Ragusa in left field's okay. You've got Tang as your DH, and again, like looks like he could be strong and reasonably strong. You're not adding a lot of power there, but you've got some contact skills.
He's gonna make the ball go.
This team could finish first again. Unlikely. Got a good shot at second. I think that if I'm betting on one or the other, I think the Zabbys have a better lineup. And again, with trading from that strength, I don't know that the rotation is that much better. It's better. Like, it's definitely better than the Zabbys. But, like, it's not that much better. Like, Akeda's really strong. He had a beautiful bounce back last year before his arm fell off. Hegon Park won the Holland and was really good last year, better than he'd ever been. I don't know that he's going to win the Holland again. That's not to say he's not going to be really good, but, like, I don't know that he's going to have another, like, 7 R-War, 6 War season. Rich Jimenez, really effective. I think that guy could bring up some of it. Like, he looks really good. I still Mustang Blankthorn, he's okay. He's good. Like, that's solid. He's slotted appropriately. He's 34 starter. He's the 3-4 starter. I dig it. But like, it's gonna have to make up for the lineup. We'll see. I think that they are probably like over under third in the division.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot will come up to health and everyone playing good. And
so with Kai Cherry, I believe Wuhan have all their money in their development and scouting budget. And
yeah, I spoke to him and he was unwilling to move it out of there. He just thought it was really a priority to keep the pipeline going, and I get that.
But
if I thought I had a chance at a ring, I probably would be. I would pull from that money.
Yeah, you take a little bit out to like, especially like if you work, because you can look at what your future salaries are going to be, so you can just calculate over time, right? So next year I'm going to lose this guy. He's not going to probably be good enough next year, for example. Mate, let's just say that's 15 million that I'm gonna get back. That 15 million I can reinvest into Kai Cherry, and the money I just pulled from last season to put into Kai Cherry I can put back into my development budget, you know.
I will say, to be fair, he did get 2 top 100 prospects. Like, we're talking a top 10 system now. I don't think he was a top 10 system before that, but like Daniel Mason's a pretty good outfield prospect. I think he could be a real strong right fielder. He's far out, but like, that's a prospect with some upside. Ivar Jessen, if he comes back from his injury, could be very effective. Mm-hmm. Like, he may have the best changeup in the league. Dude might have the best changeup. He throws left. That guy could be a weapon. It was a risk. It's a risk to trade from your strength and not add to your weakness. But like, Ivar Jessen could be really strong if he stays healthy. Not like Wuhan's ever had a fragile lefty that went off, right?
That's true. That never happened.
So like, again, they could. I think they've got a real good shot at second. They're going to be fighting with the Zabbys. They're going to be fighting with the Bears. We'll see who's healthy. We'll see who's performing. There's a lot of parity going on, man. I think probably I put them a little bit behind the Zabbys just because the lineup there is so vastly different. But I'd entertain thoughts on it.
See, I think the pitching is by far one of the best in the league in total.
Oh yeah, it still is.
Even without Kai Cherry, like, the they're competing with the Monkees for the best pitching.
They could be. Like, that's the thing, right? Is that, like, I kind of think that Hegon Park is going to be like a 5 WAR guy this year. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't think he's going to be a 7 R WAR guy again next season. Like, some guys, they have career years, man. The players work like that. They're realistic. They have career years. I think that he's a very good pitcher. I don't think he's necessarily going to win a whole bunch of Holland awards.
No, it's gonna be similar to Kaijo, where he's always going to be between like 4 and 5 WAR.
Oh yeah, like he's really good. I really like that player. I wish I had that player.
Don't we all wish we had that type?
Right?
Player.
Could I just have an ace, like a good 1-2 guy? Could I just have that? That'd be nice. If you want to put him ahead of Zabbys, I guess. I just think a lot of people sleep on how good the Zabbys pitching is. I highlighted why I think it's not going to be as good this season. I think Baradas is going to hurt losing him, but the offense is so potent and there is talent there if healthy. I think that Zabbys are probably better than the Bats, but it's close. It's close. They're both good teams. They're good teams, man. The division has gotten better.
Don't curse the division.
Yeah. So, like, let's throw them up in the bubble, because I think they could miss the dance or they could be a real strong contender. It's the range of outcomes, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's hit New Forest. Let's do this. Rip it off like a Band-Aid.
Here we go.
This team has such a range of outcomes. The game really likes them. The game says they are number 2 with an asterisk, like 88 or 86 wins. Like, the game thinks the Bears are for real.
Right, I'm gonna pop this up. Okay, the Bears. The Bears are predicted 86 to 76. Right. I do not agree with this at all. I don't think the Bears are good. The Bears are very mediocre.
They could be.
The thing is with the Bears, they could finish 2nd or they can finish 5th.
How is Joe Mulcahy still a free agent?
Because the guy wanted 32 million when he started.
Yeah, are you potentially, are the Bears going to bid on this guy again?
No, it's very unlikely unless I can maneuver some negotiations.
Fair enough.
But
criminally underpaid for his bat.
Yeah, the guy is a 4 WAR bat at the age of 37.
Wild. I really like that guy. Bears legend.
Bears legend.
Yeah, so like I think, okay, here's the thing. Is Greg Flask gonna be so weird again? Like, you bear a little bit of responsibility because your outfield defense was ass. Like last year.
I'd like to say I have nothing to say. It was fucking awful.
Yeah, it was awful. Your outfield defense was so bad. You're running like a guy who was like 55 range in center. And it was like, you have this massive outfield.
Hey,
with these giant power, like these
It was 65.
Huge, okay. Regardless, like, your guys were not good out there, and your field is such that you have to have some mobile outfielders. So like Greg Flask, just to demonstrate, was pretty effective. He bounced back. He was as good as he was in Minnesota. He was like 3.5 WAR. His BABIP was 360, and his R WAR was negative. Like, he somehow just he was positive kind of process and just wasn't getting results. And I have to think the outfield defense was part of that. There could have been some natural unluckiness there too, but like, it's really funny to have like a big fly ball guy and then outfielders that are completely immobile. Like,
well, let's go through the center fielders that I used last year.
We don't need to take a huge deep dive because I think Alex Castellanos is here to stay. He's 23. I know we meme about the bear and his tactics, but like, the dude actually looks better than a lot of center fielders. Like, he's already like a plus hitter, and he can grow more, and he's a plus glove, and he can steal bases. Like, this is a bear player, and he's here. He stays healthy. Like, he was your best center fielder last season for when he played. And I think that's going to be the case again this year. He could be one of the best center fielders in this division. Like, really, like, if we're looking Like I think Zai and Kitchener. The Kitchener right now has the best center fielders here. Zai plus Dunn.
Yeah.
Best center fielders in the division. Next up, probably Castellanos. I like Casanova with Wuhan. I think that Nunez is pretty solid too, except for last season inexplicably. I really like Alex Castellanos.
So
Why do we love Muscles Dunn? Because he gets on base.
He gets on base. Right, so with Castellanos, when I drafted him last year, this was my thought process. I know I don't often think, Lone Wolf can attest to that. But I had a choice of actually getting a good pitcher for once, you know. And I thought to myself, maybe I'll get a pitcher. Maybe this is the year I actually take a risk. And then I looked at my centre field and went, fuck this shit, I'm going Castellanos. And then I'm just going to play Castellanos within about 2 weeks of him being drafted. And here we are.
He got hurt, but like, honestly, 93 OPS plus and a plus glove. Okay.
Can't complain.
I think my scout likes him better than yours. Yeah, he does. My guy sees him as a 70 range outfielder. My guy really likes him. better power, better eye, better contact. Yeah, wild. My guy thinks he's faster. Like,
he thinks he's the ultimate bear. Woo.
Legit. My scout thinks that Alex Castellanos is like could be like an off-brand Legs Garcia.
I can't complain about having an off-brand Legs Garcia. I will take it with.
I think the Bears have. I think the Bears are structured in an interesting way this season. I don't love their offense. Like I really don't. Ben Harness and Rhett DePros are the only guys that I really like offensively. Castellanos will get there. Ortega. I want to like Ortega. I want to like Watanabe. Watanabe's value is primarily defensive. I think he could have bounced back to be an okay offensive player again. Like, there's no reason he hit as bad as he did last year. I don't see a lot of power outside of Ben Harness. Bill Selmy had a really strong season last year and was okay. Still like a below average offensive player, but like I see what you're doing. Got a lot of defense. I think your pitchers are going to perform better with a catcher that knows how to frame a bit. Carlos Amaya is a strong defensive catcher. He's got a little bit of a bat too. I kind of like Carlos Amaya. I wish he could hit his weight. We'll see. But like I like some of these guys a bit, and if there's some health and you get some solid performances, like Francisco Chairez, I think is another Greg Flasky guy. He's a fly ball guy. He throws hard. He struggles a bit with dingers sometimes, but I think New Forest Park with improved outfield defense could mean that he could bounce back a bit. He's not going to be winning Cody Holland this season, but there's no reason he couldn't be like a 3 or 4 war guy, like a strong number 2 level pitcher. Like he could be that guy in New Forest. Matt Hicks, if healthy, has been historically good. Greg Flask, I think, is going to have a good year. I don't think he had a bad year last year. I think he was unlucky. I think he's going to have a good year. You throw in a lefty like Gilbranch, like this, Steve Evans, like Paywet, was elite in his rookie season and was still strong last year. Like they have a good rotation. There's a few guys in the bullpen that can deal it. You just wonder if they're going to get enough offense. So again, the Bears, we'll see what happens with their health. We'll see what happens with the pitching, the bowlers, so to speak. I think they could be second in this division. They could also be fourth, but like I think it's going to be real tight between those 3 spots. I put them in the bubble, probably behind the other 2, but like, yeah. They look better than they have in years.
So my thoughts on the Bears. We have decided to go from a batting first lineup to a defensive lineup after many years of trying to slog our way into the playoffs. We have failed multiple times within the last week of the season, and I throw a paddy every single time. Paddy in translation from English is throwing a tantrum.
Cool. A one-man brouhaha.
A one-man brouhaha. Now we have changed. We are now the defense Bears. We will
Defense Bears.
We will defend the ball first. Protect our bowlers. I actually have a pitching staff for the first time in 22 years. This year.
I gotta give props. Where props are due on the Bears. Is there's a lot of low budget teams that kind of let that set their parameters, and the Bears still try to swing high. They swing for the fences, not in actual baseball, but like in their transaction approach. Like they're making do with the budget and doing the best they can, and sometimes you swing for the fences, and Ice Yeti gets like a good pick, and
Ice Yeti gets a good pick. I get an okay contract for a couple of years. I lower it down by 10 million sometimes. All works out.
There you go. Works out. All right, let's put you on the tier list. Let's get you on that list.
Let's go to the tier list, right? I believe the Bears are pretenders.
I put them towards the tail end of the bubble, but
wait, I'm gonna create a new one.
Is it just the Bears?
That's brown. That's a black. Fuck, we're gonna be a black bear instead.
Oh,
No.
what have you done?
What have
I
I
can't
done?
believe you fucking done this.
Fucking nightmare, this kid. Black. There we go. Bear.
Oh, that's gross. Shit brown there too. Very good.
No shit, brown. This is a ultimate pain. There we go. And bear.
There you go. Its own category. Okay. Let's flip over to the VL.
The VL.
Let's see what's going on there. Let's do the what's that monkey division that we just assumed the monkeys were?
The hero spammer division.
The monkey division, yeah.
Yeah, the hero spammer division.
There's two things that have been given for the last few years, and it's that the Monkees win the division and the Expos somehow dick punch themselves out of the playoffs.
But this year is the year of the Montreal Expos. Let's go.
We shall see. Okay, I still have them as a bubble team. I think the division's pretty good. I think Kai Cherry is a good ad for them. I really like Brad Wire. I always have. I've always regretted letting him walk, letting someone else pick that guy. I have a soft spot for Yamamoto. I love that he's a captain, brings some veteran leadership. I like Tony Bursey. I like that as a part-time thing with Torrens. Makes a lot of sense for them to kind of caddy up there. Maybe together they will provide an effective tandem. Losing Clancy Olsen hurts. I don't know about Ross Davis. Like, he was a reasonable reliever, but like you can find those all over the place. I think Ivar Jessen is pretty cool, but like I don't know if he was going to be contributing this year. But Yamamoto is a nice buy low. I think they're kind of trying to do it with pitching. Because, like, I don't love the lineup, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think Roy Peace is going to be that good again. I see he was trying him at shortstop. Like, he's doing some weird stuff in spring training to make other guys play new positions. There's a lot of defense here. There's a lot of pitching. You can see how they're building. Offensively, like, yeah, Roy Peace was amazing last year. I don't know where that comes from again. Like, I still think he could be a quality player, like one of those guys that just does everything a little well. Felipe Cortez could be really good too. Dave Eikenberry, if he can stay healthy, like he's a nice player there. He hasn't been healthy or good in a couple years, but like he could be effective again. He's still like the heart of this franchise. Like that's a core piece. As he's a career Expo, I would expect him to kind of finish his career there. I really like Byron Fox, Tracer. I inevitably, every time I play the Expos, I fucking draw that guy, and he beats me. Like he's just a really solid pitcher. Jamie Jarvie, or Yami Yarvi, if you prefer, had a really good season last year. Is he that guy? Could be really good. I like a lot of elements on this team. I think they're still a bubble team. I look at this division, and I still think that Monkees Highlanders are 1-2, and Isle of Man is probably getting better. Maybe not worse. Maybe just slightly worse. I think they're third in the division. It's ultimately going to come down to how much they beat up on the other bottom three in this division and how the Cold War breaks out. Because if the Cold War separates, that's bad news. Like, your hope, if you're Montreal, is that the Cold War beats each other up again so that you clearly have, like, a second or third best record. Like, you just, nope, wild card's mine, sorry. You guys split too many games. Hillbillies and signatures and bitch pigeons. Like,
Springfield, Sunnyvale, bitch pigeons, Kirkland.
Yeah, like, sorry guys, you all had 82 and 80, like 81 and 81 records. I guess my 85 wins or 86 wins takes it. Sorry, not sorry. Like, they could be good.
My thought on the Montreal Expos is they're going to be competitive against the Halifax Highlanders for second place.
They could. They very well could.
I reckon they give them a run for their money. I reckon this will be the first year one of the choking teams will not choke.
Yeah,
so,
I kind of like them. I think they could be the wild card. I think that's really it's Canadian politics in a nutshell. Is that you're gonna have like a bunch of people in the Cold War all kind of split, and then Montreal's gonna take that.
I believe Montreal is a contender for the contender. That is my.
I don't think their offense is good enough to really threaten some of the top of the division, but like.
I think it could be punishing to some of the weaker teams that like don't have that great pitching or defense.
They've got good depth. Like they've got depth. Like they've got some guys on the bench that are like starters on a lot of other teams. So
yeah. So when the chips are down, you know.
When the chips are down, choke. Choke on them.
Exactly. Like
why are you eating poker chips?
I reckon the Expos. I reckon Expos are a contender. I believe in the Montreal Expos.
There you got it from Bear. You're the Expo. I see. I put them probably after the Bats in that bubble tier. I think they could miss. I said behind the Bats, man.
Behind the Bats. I would put them just above the Bats.
All right, I can live with that. I think that's fair. It's a bubble team.
See, I would still say contender, but
you're giving them way too much credit because, like,
actually wait, no. We need to create a new one.
What? Another new one?
Another new one.
Choking. Oh my god. Choking hazard.
Oh, here we go.
They had a really good spring, man. Like, I think there's a real path that they'll probably win the wild card. I just like the Highlanders, and they've got.
Let's talk about the Highlanders then. Let's go and talk about the Highlanders.
Like, Elroy Burgers is still good. Like, he was really good last year. I don't know where they get these reclamation projects of guys that are just old and they had a shit season and they come back and they thrive here. Like, Jose Lara came over from Castlegar. He didn't play real good there. Had basically the same season the next year, but like healthy. And he's had a couple bounce backs. He's been really effective there. Like, he's a Halifax legend, came back. He's wrecked now. Like, he's gonna get hurt some, but like he's still really strong. He's a good player. I'm never gonna say that again. Fuck that guy. Elroy Burgers coming back to be a 3-war guy is pretty impressive. Like, Kawicki is a guy on the rise. I really like Kawicki. He's got some of these veterans too, these big left-handed sluggers. Willie Villarreal is like prototypical clean-up kind of dude. He gets on base, you're walking, and he slugs. I dig him. Fernando Rico is much the same. Like, I don't know where he finds some of these guys, but he's just got like a left and right-handed versions of the same dude. I like Wang at shortstop. Like, he's effective. Last year he had almost 40 dingers as a shortstop. Like, that's pretty. Ryan Morley's gonna get old one day.
One day.
Last year, he's a really good framer. Like, he helps Halifax get some. Like, a guy like Roger James, who is like a kind of more finesse guy. Like, getting some framing on that really helps. I like Ronnie Sharbak a bit, as he's fragile. Probably means he's gonna get buttoned, but he was good last year.
I think that's why Joe is scared when Ryan Morley finally kicks the bucket, because he's one of the best framers in the league and probably helps Halifax way more than the game probably shows statistically.
I note that Olve Nielsen keeps winning awards and stuff, despite not being as good anymore. Like, he's still a contender for reliever of the year. He's definitely declining. Like, he's gone from being like, he was the best reliever in the league with a bullet for a lot of time there, and now he's like top 10. Like, there's slippage. So like, there's some legacy Halifax players they're going to have to find replacements for at some point. Luckily, they've been doing some nice work on the board.
What you're saying is Joel is just secretly lowering the ages of his players, and
no, I just mean like look at the prospect pool.
Oh,
there's some good pieces there.
There is some collections.
Yeah, like getting Leon Breen last year in the international free agent was huge. Angelo Valencia might die, but like he's 22 and can already play. Pretty good, big lefty. He's got some guys that he drafted later on, like Chloe and Hernandez, that are all guys that look like contributors. Those are all top 100 prospects. He's 6th in the prospect rankings. Like pretty. Not, the future's not dismal. You will have to find some replacements sooner or later. Like maybe like that's the thing, is that could Joel's team just get old all of a sudden? Like could Burgers get worse and be not effective? Could Jose Lara have an injury, like a big injured season? Like could that happen? Could some of these guys, like could Villarreal struggle a bit? Like could some of these guys get old? Yeah, for sure. I don't think this is the year. But I think they're probably second. I think they're second in the division. I put them as a playoff lock.
They have 22 players that are 30 or older in this spring training roster. That's boomer. That's a boomer town.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? They're win now. I still the fact that they can have such an old roster and still have a strong prospect pool. That's good. And they're mixing some guys in, like Tianyu Yao. He's a guy that's being mixed in. Again, Ronnie Sharbak last year was the start of that. There's some other guys. There's some guys coming through.
He's bleeding them in. He's bleeding in the youth.
I bet you'd like to see Lumberjack leave, but another day perhaps. 35 million, and he is a Band-Aid.
Bloody hell, Mike.
Yeah. Who else we got in this division? We've done Montreal. Let's throw the Monkees in the top. I don't want to talk about this team a lot.
Yeah, we talk about them enough as it is, right? Let's just glare at these stars and go, oh fuck no.
Yeah, like they apparently got better again. They added some more this offseason. I don't love Tyler Warsham, especially like at that price, but like it's whatever. It's very small. He's an Iron Man. They never get hurt, right? Iron Man. It's basically injury immunity, right? Warsham should be at least worth what Chidis was last year. It's fine. You still there, Bear? Did you die? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he says he's here. Well, while we're experiencing technical difficulties, I'm gonna pee.
Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Oh, there's Bear checking his Twitter.
I'm not dead.
I'm glad you're not dead.
I don't know what happened to my sound or whatever. I didn't do anything, you know?
Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Anyways, Monkees. First.
Tyler Walsham.
Yeah, whatever. Like, he's the number 5 starter. He's way better than every other number 5 starter. Whatever.
He played for the Bears, had suffered the outfield pain as
It sucks that Roberto Hernandez looks like he's just dead. Like, that sucks.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah. He's still got a ruptured tendon in his finger for another few months. Like, dude's fragile now. Like, he won the Rookie of the Year last year, but like, yeah.
What a shame. The Monkees are losing a good player. Let's move on.
Huhino being hurt sucks. Like that guy's done for the season too, 8 months.
Yeah,
like that's what the Monkees are going to have to compete with. Like the only thing they're really competing with in this entire conference is the button, the injury bug.
Yeah. How many times will Joel press the button on a Monkees player? Please put your numbers for the sweepstake down below.
Well, they're getting older too, right? So like, there's a few guys there that I think are going to be injured a bit.
Yeah, Leo Mays is 35 still.
Yeah, like he's gonna adjust for that. I still think Butenkamp is really strong. That's a nice 27-year-old. I was gonna say young piece. Is that the youngest guy? Like, oh my god! Oh yeah, it is. It is 27, youngest guy in the lineup. Danny Bueno has been around forever. He has been around forever, 8 years, and he is only 28. That's wild. I thought that guy was ancient because he's been playing so long. He's really good still. Luis Martinez is 28. Like, it's not like they're devoid of this. I just mean, like, it is definitely an older roster. It's built for now. He's maximizing Berg. He's maximizing Rodriguez, both 31. Hansky's 31. Like, this team is a 30-plus team for the most part. They're going to get banged up a bit. We'll see where they go. They're gonna finish first in the division. It depends. It's going to have an impact on where their playoff standing is.
The real question is, though, will their geriatric players live through the whole season without getting hurt? Because Leon Mays is fragile. Berg is normal, but Berg is 31. Perry's normal, 32. Garcia is a bit durable, so
he's been a lock there. That's been a big piece for them.
Alvarez is wrecked, so
he's making $16 million. That's a Castlegar legend.
Eugenio's out for the season. Carlos Flores, hey,
Iron Man.
And we know what happens to Iron Man.
Never get hurt, ever.
Never get hurt.
I'm gonna keep saying that, and every time I know Agile's gonna cringe.
And I'm just gonna go good.
Oh shoot! But yeah, just throw the Monkees up at the top of the S tier.
I've already done it. Like, it's already.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Oh, very good. I'd put him ahead of Pyongyang.
Above Pyongyang.
Yeah, I would.
There we go.
I think we have to until like we see how bad the injury bug hits them, which has already begun, right?
Yeah, it's already begun. Right, next team. Let's go Beijing. Let's go to China.
Oof. I think they're fifth in the division. I like some of the things. Like they added a couple guys. Like they had an off season. They leveraged some of their money. Good for them. They added 3.5, 4 about, but like it's Villanueva. Stumpf. Like the Villanueva thing was clearly a misstep. He's gonna produce, but like it's that issue with the escalating salary. Like I understand he meant to make those options. Well, whoops. Welcome to Applewhite, baby. Fragile 33-year-old malcontent.
Oh well, I will see him I'll see him next year down at the Bears anyway. So
yeah, I like Reinhard Stumpf. He paid a lot to secure that contract. Again, it's got like nice flexibility to it. But I appreciate that.
You could tell this was also figured out by the use of a calculator to make sure the
absolutely. But like technically correct is the best kind of correct. So
yeah,
good on him for getting those players. I think he's going to miss Kim a little bit. That was a solid player for him. I don't think he'll miss him much of the other guys that left. Appleby somehow washed up after looking so promising early on. Weird. Is he better? Yeah. Is he better than Isle of Man?
No.
He wasn't. It wasn't last year.
I think the Isle of Man is still better.
Isle of Man had some losses, though. They lost some guys. Who did they lose? Leo Perez. That stings. Carlos Flores has been there for a while. Alex Calindres is okay. They lost some guys. They got some guys. I wouldn't put a lot of faith on Valdemar Enbrechts. He's going to be hurt a lot, but like he's not bad. Ayala. That's a nice piece that he got. Like he improved his rotation. I think he's going to miss Leo Perez, who was just getting into some good stuff there. But like Ayala's a nice piece to get there. I don't think it was like a huge win either way. Like
both teams got something out of it, and it's
exactly. I really like Leo Perez, but like I I like Ayala too. Like, I like both those pieces a lot. So Ayala's fragile, which stings a little bit. But, like, I don't think Beijing's necessarily better than Isle of Man.
I think they're like similar levels.
They're very comparable. I wouldn't put either one into the... Yeah, that's probably it right there.
I knew what you're thinking. Like,
I like some of the pieces here, like Isaiah Griffin, T-Bone Griffin's a really nice, like, 1-2 guy. Like, I like him a lot. He's got some guys in the rotation that look like they should be able to contribute in Beijing. I just, like... Yeah.
There's some good players.
Daniel Watson should be better.
There's some good players in both teams, but they're not going to be competitive with the Montreal, the Halifaxes, and the Monkees of the...
Yeah, it's basically are they better than Isle of Man, and I guess you go tie to who was good last year or better last year. Like Villanueva should help. Like Villanueva should be good there. Strump should help, but it's like I don't know. What if Wolf's pitching staff's good this year? Right?
Yeah, Lone Wolf's pitching staff is
like Ayala if he's not dead. He could be a nice ad. Adam Cato is good. Matt Hearn is good. Gabe Lech is fine. You kind of think he's better than what he's produced, but like there's some guys there. Like I think their pitching rotation, if Ayala's not dead, is probably better. Tony Falcon, really great name. I dig the guy as a reliever as well. He got pretty good last year. I don't know.
The men are a pitching first team.
They are. They've got some guys that can hit too, though. Like Tony Martinez had a fine first season.
Mm-hmm.
You'd like more for the money, obviously, but like he was healthy the majority of the year. He hit the majority of the year.
Yeah, so the men are going to do okay, but the men are not.
He might opt out in 2 seasons, which. Honestly, given how long the contract is, that might be a blessing. Get the best 3 seasons that was left in his career, and the dude pisses off for more money. Yeah, okay.
Hashtag worth. Yeah. I feel like the Hero Spammer division might be the most uneven of the divisions.
There's a firm delineation. Like, you have the Monkees is very much at the first. Halifax, I think, is pretty strong in second. Montreal, pretty strong in third. Like, you don't see Isle of Man or Beijing jumping Montreal. Like, it's possible Montreal drops Halifax, so it's kind of like a loose second tier there, but like, I just don't see anyone in the third tier looking to jump in. And that brings us to Cape Breton. My favorite team in this division.
All right.
They're the ones that said, you know what? Fuck ownership. I'm paying these guys.
Fuck the owners. I'll do what I want in it.
Yeah, if we meet that team, they have a payroll higher than their budget. So like their budget is like bottom, like 19th in the league, and then like their payroll is 6th. They paid 6th most for this team. Oh, I love them. They're chaos. I love it.
I love chaos. I can't.
I like Chris Rollins. I think Chris Rollins on their team is pretty good. He had that 1 year that he was like an MVP candidate. Did he win? Yeah, he did. He won an MVP back in 35.
Who is this?
And he's just kind of Chris Rollins on the roster. And he's just kind of devolved into like good, not great.
He's just
like
mediocre.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think he's better than 20th. Like the game says he's the 20th best right fielder. He's probably better than that.
I want to know who the 19 are above him.
I don't like Goo. That feels very weird to say. He's okay. Like he's been a good bat. I just don't think his best position should be center field. He's probably a left fielder.
Yeah,
like
he's the left.
He's costing them some runs. It could just be the league's meta. I really like Victor Castaneda. I think he could be a lot better than he's showing so far. I think that's a nice piece. Like this team is not terrible. I think there's problems with the budget.
You take problems with the budget.
They've definitely drafted the best of, which is funny. They've drafted the best out of all 4 of those expansion teams. You look at who has kind of drafted well. Cape Breton has like a really good prospect pool. Dondo's drafted well too. Like they've added players, good players that way. But I mean, like Kirkland, they've done a good job too. It's really just Newfoundland. Newfoundland struggled with that a bit, and I think Kirkland, even if they have a worse prospect list, they are competing. Like that's a team that's competitive. Cape Breton, I think, is in a bit of a last dance scenario. They had a bunch of guys accept the QOs in their rotation, which means they could be like Wilbert Hoover could be free agent at age 25. He's never put up good results. He often leads the league in losses. He has been pitching for 5 years and he is 24. He's been pitching in the Pigs since he was like a teenager. And this is his last season. He's got $16 million. Like maybe he gets extended, but like their budget situation probably means Wilbert Hoover is gone. And I think he's got upside. It's weird that he's never put it together. Like he had 1 year that he was pretty good. But like he's never really broken through as a top end pitcher. Like his results are that of like a number 4. I like him a lot. He could figure it out, I think. I like Henriksen a lot, actually. Like they've got some guys. Franchise here, nice piece at the top of the order, like the rotation. There's some other guys that could be good. Like Oscar Sanchez could be good, maybe. I don't love Anders Henrik. He's okay though. Like I think what it is when I look at a guy like Anders Henrik. Oh my goodness, he's been pitching for years too. He's 24. That's the other guy that accepted the qualifying offer.
He started from 18. Fucking hell. I'm being outdone here, and I do not appreciate this. Oh,
outbearing the Bears. He's outraged. Again, this guy's he's never been good. I don't understand it. He looks like he should be good. He's never been great. He had 1 year where he was like, "Oh, that's cool." He's like a number 4 starter.
I don't even know what to do anymore. Oh, I had one niche.
One niche. Yeah. So like, there's some guys there that's their last dance. They probably move on. I like Alex Martinez. All right. He's got a lot of pitches. Like that was a okay get from Pyongyang. He should be better than he has been so far. Like again, he pitched 1 year and was awful for these guys. But it wasn't like his underlying numbers were that bad. He just struggled a bit with the ball falling wrong. He could be good. We'll see. I don't know. There's some guys that can hit a bit. Like Castanada's good. Anastasio. I traded him for that second baseman, Kariya. I traded him for my second baseman back that he picked in the draft. And the guy got immediately hurt, and he's just been a long-standing Monkees captain and bench player. Good character and everything, but Anastasio is what I paid, and the guy's been really good there. Like he's one of their better hitters. I think that you need Chris Rollins to bounce back to be successful here. Luis De La Cruz has been pretty effective in the middle infield. Yeah.
This is the team of Dennis Ironmonger.
Yeah, baby. Oh no, those are player options. Those are player options. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my. Chaos. I love it. Chaos. Jeff Mark.
Decided not to opt out of the remaining portion of his contract.
Yeah, that's the biggest, most obvious move ever.
Can you imagine a player going, no, I don't fancy.
Oh.
Don't fancy.
Dude's real name is Moneymonger. That's remarkable. Those are player options. I thought they were team options. I was like, he's almost out of that, man. He's gonna fix his budget. He's gonna keep Hoover.
He's gonna be free. He's gonna be finally.
But you know what? Jeff Mark worked out really good so far. Like that first season, he was really good. 91 OPS plus, 2.5 WAR almost. Like, yeah, that's a lot you're paying for it.
Don't shit on Jeff Mark.
Those are player options too.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Why would you do this to yourself?
Oh, I hope he gets a third baseman.
Right, wait out. Let me go to the Beijing. Right, this is what you need to do. Not Villanueva. Villanueva's bad. Right, this is bad. You meant to do team options here instead. But this is the idea. You do exactly, I think it's like 15% of this, or 20%, it's one of the two. 20%.
Oh, I think.
And then you team options the last 2 years. and your contract's fine, and then you have a get-out clause.
Yep. Anyways, Cape Breton basement, toss them. Toss them. I like their prospect pool though. Like I will say, like credit where credit's due.
They're better than Newfoundland though.
They definitely are. Definitely are.
Would you say about
like?
Is a question though. Would you say about Soviet? No.
No. Their prospect pool is, but like until those guys make it, I don't know that they're better than Soviet. Soviet's lineup is much better than the Woodcocks, unless like Chris Rollins goes ham. Soviet probably. Oh no! What did you do?
I changed the view.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Anyways, wait, what is that? That's not our. Oh no! What have you done?
What have I done? Wait, what? Oh
no! We
no!
didn't have Montreal at the bottom. What did you do? Did you reset the other one?
It's deleted the other two. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, Bear, first time with the new hands?
I just want to play with things because I can, you know.
This guy.
Soviet. Beijing. What? Bears? What up to the Bears? You wrong.
What has gone on here?
Just a disaster.
Deleted this is... I can't believe you fucking done this. I think we hit Isle Man ahead of Beijing.
There we go.
It's close though. It's close. Newfoundland bottom. Newfoundland bottom.
There we go.
So who are we missing? We got everybody?
Yeah, we got everybody. We're fine.
Cool. We got that division. Nice.
One down. Two down. Two
down. Let's jump over. Let's go back to the Scoshe. I think this division's going to be weird too. Lots of ranges of outcomes.
Here we go.
I think unlike the Mickey Mouse though, is that this division has a clear top two teams.
Yes. I believe we both know what those two teams are.
Yeah, it's Castlegar and Wall Street.
Yep, there we go.
I think we have to make the suggestion. Like Washington, I think they probably start as higher, but I think I'm going to make an argument here. I like that they added Kim. They didn't pay him a ton. Like they're paying him like a 2-war guy. He's probably a 2-war player. He was about 2-war last year. Like I think he probably will hit better with some of the lineup protection they've got in Washington. It insulates them against losing Mooney or losing somebody else that's fragile. They're older, and they did lose Shortall. So okay, they were basically neutral this offseason.
Yeah.
They lost some guys, they gained a few, like losing Matt Dufresne. I think Matt Dufresne was a really solid reliever. He didn't really put up much last year, I think, because he was injured all year. They lost a few other guys that were injured too, but like Tavares was, I think, another one. Their bullpen could be like worse this year, and that's been a feature of this team, is that they win 1-run games. Like, it's been 3 or 4 years, they routinely outperform their Pythag through winning 1-run games, and a big part of that, Ed Shortall, he was declining. Like, last year was a rough year for this dude. He was formerly like a top tier reliever, like 3-4 war a year. Losing him, even his declining him, 3-time reliever of the year, it hurts. That hurts a lot for Washington. It really does. David Caldwell doesn't look as good as he used to. His stamina's gone. He can still be an effective pitcher. I like Eric Kimmis a lot. I think he's effective. He hasn't ever had like that ace season, and he only has 2 real pitches. That curveball's good enough that he can contribute. I don't think he's a top of the rotation guy. I really like Dave Hazel. That was a solid pickup. I think he has more to give. I question his character a bit. Like, I don't think that's a concern here, but it was with me. I had a revolt the end of last year. I don't know if people knew that. Right into the playoffs, like everyone was pissed at each other. So that was good. Like they've got a solid rotation. Like I think Jeremy Mansfield could be good. Like he's been a reliever all his career, but like he could be really good as a 4. Like there's some guys there. Marcos Lopez is reasonable too. He's a captain. He hasn't pitched great, but he's one of those guys where you think that he's going to be better. Like you look at the pieces there and you're like, He has good control. He keeps the ball down. He has some struggles with splits, I think, but he should be effective. Like he's a perfectly cromulent back of the rotation guy. The offense here is the star.
Yep. Yeah, the offense is the shining light.
Eric Anderson won the Napoleon Gravedigger. I don't think he should have won that. Like, he's really good. Maybe that was his career season at 5 WAR, but like, do you think it's going to be a crazy outlier if he's 3 WAR and a 120 OPS plus?
No.
Like, I don't think that's a Napoleon season for that dude. He's going to be one of the best catchers in the league, well, at least offensively. Brad Gallagher was amazing last year. He's 36. He could fall off a bit. Van de Put, fragile, but he was so good last year. Like, probably the best shortstop in the game right now. Carlos Aguiar in Springfield, pretty good as well. Min is a developing talent. He had such a strong second half, second in Rookie of the Year voting. Like, he was really good. That's another nice piece.
That's a very nice player.
Very nice piece. Jesus Velasquez. In Jesus we trust. He had a good bounce back, and he's paid a criminal $11 million. That dude is gonna eat, like, he's older, a little more brittle. I think he's gonna be the home run leader if he isn't already. Like, he's really good. He hit almost 40 bombs last year. He's ancient. It's good. Kurt Mick is another guy who hits bombs. Like, this is a dinger friendly team. They like patience. They like to walk. They like to dinger. That's how it's built. I dig it. Fits with how I think a baseball team should be built.
Wrong.
I think they're gonna struggle with their pitching a bit. Like, I think there's gonna be steps back from everybody, or maybe the starting stays roughly the same quality. I really think you lose something going from Ed Shortle to Jordan Lima, or some of the relievers here, Joseph Walpole. Walpole should be good. Like, there's a lot of guys that should be effective. We'll see. I just don't think it's locked down like it has been, you know?
It's not like the Washington of the previous few seasons where
they've been just impervious, just completely. They've been really strong. I still think that if you have a guy like Adam Mooney or Kim as your first guy off the bench, like, you're a very dangerous offensive team. So, like, I think they're a playoff lock. I think they are a playoff lock through and through. I question about the rotation. I would probably put them either at the bottom of the contender or near the top of the, sorry, when I say contender, I mean the ring collectors, or at, like, near the top of the contenders. I think they're at least as good as Halifax. Possibly better.
The only issue I have with Washington is their pitching that would make me think they're not going to be a ring collector.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that I think they're basically equivalent to Halifax. Maybe they're a little worse. Like, I don't know. I think their lineup is better.
I'm not the biggest fan of their pitching. I think their pitching is like one of the weakest.
It could be good, though. There are guys there. There's a lot of guys there that have not hit their necessary upside. Like Dave Ezel, or Ezel, or whatever you want to call him. He's better than this. Like, he had his highest WAR season last year. Could he take another step forward? Yeah. If that changeup rounds out at all, like, he could be really effective. There's guys there that have more to give, but there's also guys that are definitely declining. Like David Caldwell used to be close. Like, he's won a Holland. Or what? He won an MVP?
Yeah.
When did we let a pitcher win MVP? Oh, 37? With 6 WAR. Oh, how bad was... Never mind. Never mind.
Just let it out. Just rant about how pitchers shouldn't be winging MVPs.
Like, literally, it's coded in the system as MVP is batter of the year, and the Holland's the pitcher of the year. Like, it's coded that way. Like, I don't have a problem when a guy's like a 10 WAR pitcher, but if you're like a 6 WAR pitcher, you're probably pitcher of the year. I don't think you're MVP. Like, they don't play every day. I know that's measured in WAR, like if he was the WAR leader or something, like, I guess. But like, for me, for them to be better than a guy who plays every day, they have to be way better. Like, Berg and Cody Holland legitimately won MVPs. I don't think a 6.5 WAR season does it for me for a starting pitcher. I'm just... Anyways, I'm going to take heat for that. Whatever.
In short, pitchers shouldn't win MVPs unless you're Brian Berg or Cody Holland. Thank you.
Well, like, you have to. It's how much better they have to be, man. Like, anyways.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
my TED talk. I'm getting off my soapbox. Anyways, here's what it comes down to. I think Peking's better now. There, I said it. I think with the declines and losing a key player like Shortle already, and some of the fragility of guys like Montoya and Mooney and whatnot that are being counted on to be producers in Washington, I think Peking, with the adds they made to their rotation, they look like they're very strong. Leo Perez is a phenomenal second baseman. Carlos Barada, we've already discussed with the Zabbys section, he was the best shortstop defensively for like the last 3 years. He's been so good. He saved 25 runs against his replacement in Kitchener, who was a good defensive shortstop. He's really good. He's not going to hit anything, but if that dude's like even like a 2 WAR with 25 zone rating, you are laughing. You are laughing. Like I really like that move. It's going to get the most of his pitching staff. Tyler Sims at $6 million is a steal. Like that's a very strong setup, man. He had a 2.96 ERA with Halifax down the stretch last year. He has changed from he's an effective reliever. I like that a lot. I think for 6.5 for a dude that rarely, if ever, is injured. Iron Men don't get hurt, right?
Iron Men don't get hurt.
They don't get hurt. It never happens. Adding a piece like that, I think helps. Akiyama as a bench bat, really strong ad. That's a captain. Like, I don't think they paid him a lot either. Like, there's some strong ads this offseason. And what did they lose? Like, honestly.
No, I don't think they actually lost anything, did they?
They lost some things. They lost Ayala in that Leo Perez trade.
Oh, yeah.
But
Toilet.
Yeah, but he's hurt. Like, Steve Tillett is hurt.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee he comes back at any kind of effectiveness. Van Heck, again, was okay.
Van Heck, he should have a 5 pitcher nowadays.
He was a rental.
Yeah.
They traded their backup second baseman and their backup center fielder, Napolio winner Edgar Vargas.
Like, the only real loss is Ayaya, basically. I think.
I would note they traded a bunch of prospects. They traded a boatload of prospects to get one of their big ads was Mike Arias. Like they traded a lot of minor league pieces to make that happen. They still have a middling system. Hayashi's a big prospect there. I will say that Matthias Sorensen, Pigpen, is a Castlegar product. It's just he was too young to trade. So like their system is worse than it is ranked.
Yeah.
But Pigpen is a nice effective piece. Anderson is their big free agent guy. They paid him a lot of money. Listen, I think there's a reasonable shot he's good. I think that's a lot of money. Especially, there was another guy that if you just scouted more was just as good, actually better right now, maybe lower upside, but like he cost like 1 year at 14 to Sunnyvale. Like that's a big commitment for a dude that like, what's his upside? Like Mustang, like 2-ish, 3-ish WAR guy, which is like, yeah, cool, but you're paying close to 10 million a WAR instead of 7.95.
But you have to remember, this league has, if they see one player that's good, and it's in the free agency, it's going to be fucking a slapping war to see who can bid the highest.
I will point out that he got blown up in spring training. He had an 8.8 ERA.
8.83.
Yeah, he got lit up.
He got lit up by the Bears. Oh no. I'm sure
he'll
know it's going wrong for you.
But here's the thing: even if Martinius Anderson doesn't have the best year, I don't think he's going to be an 8 ERA. Like, even if he's just like, he eats some innings from that spot, like the 4 or 5, I think Adam Ward is probably better than he was last year. Like, I think if you're going to pick a guy who's going to bounce back on this team and be really effective, Adam Ward is a good bet. I think Mike Arias has generally outperformed his metrics. Last year was a weird one for him. I don't notice really what it was. Like, his BABIP was effectively the same. His Ks got better. He walked a few more guys. More balls went yard. Like, just a little less effective, and it made a big difference. But like, he almost won an award before, and he's generally been a very strong 3-4 win guy. I think that's a nice ad. It came at cost, but like, especially with like, you add some defensive pieces there, like Carlos Barada, that's going to help some of your guys on their ground balls. Like, the Zabbys have outperformed what you would think their pitching staff has done by having a dude like that.
Yeah.
Guzman's a good framer. Ethan Jacquin is one of the best fielding center fielders, maybe the best. Like, there's some good defense here. There's some good hitters. Ingo Toet, absolutely, he blasted the ball last year. Like, that dude was really good. Is he that guy again? Maybe. Seems to have the attributes. He looks good.
It wouldn't surprise me if he did do it again, to be honest.
Leo Perez, when he comes back, is a strong guy, number 2 hole hitter or whatever. Like, there's some good pieces here. Maybe Lou bounces back. He didn't have the best season last year. Like, he fell back to earth predictably. I don't know how he didn't win the Napoli. No, I'm kidding.
Don't say such things. You're gonna get back.
I know. But remember when I said that 55 power hitter probably isn't going to hit 66 home runs again? He's still really good. He's a really good hitter. I just mean, not hitting 60, 70 home runs is not an insult. It's like, he's really good. He's going to continue to be really good.
I think Peking are actually one of the best teams of the year.
I would concur. I would actually put them up in the ring contention tier. They're really strong. If the bullpen holds and they maintain health, they should be really good.
Ducks, quack quack. There we go.
Quack quack. I don't know. I don't think they're better than the Monkees.
I think
but how much are you betting on 2 bounce back guys and a guy that they paid a lot of money to that has no track record? That's all I'm saying. You're basically asking.
Let's go.
That should be good. I believe those guys are going to bounce back. They're going to have a quality rotation. Going to have a strong offense. I don't think they're better than the Monkees, man. They're not better than the Monkees.
But I think the Monkees are too fragile.
That's possible, but yeah.
The game is played on a field, not on a spreadsheet.
Yeah, well, we'll worry about that. Like, if the Monkees, that's the thing, right? Is that I think we're kind of assuming upside on a lot of these things.
That's true. But
I'm comfortable with where they're at.
I believe in the Ducks more than I believe the Monkees. I just want to leave that as a note. Thank you for coming to Guys Get Talk.
All right, we had a lot of bubble teams here too. There's a bunch of teams here that have a range of outcomes. So let's deal with the people who aren't the bubble teams. Trabdondo.
The Trabdondo.
Right? Trabdondo basement. Like, they stayed neutral. They didn't really improve a team that wasn't good last year, and they didn't really get worse. They just kind of stay the course, let the prospect pool take over. Like, it makes sense. I'm not criticizing their approach. The brothers Dondo. I like Pedro Diaz, as you would probably expect me to like.
Yeah.
He's a leader. Good pro. Good dressing room guy. I don't know. He seems to have hot starts and then peter out. I like that the fans like him, like that his teammates like him. He really rakes right-handed pitching, and he's okay versus lefties. He's not unplayable. I like the dude. He's probably a DH. I don't know why he never got better at fielding at first base, because he's 6'11". He's the tallest player in the league. Stretch over here. He runs
if you
good
look at his other defensive ratings, though, it's a bit.
Yeah, but like he's kind of weird. Like, usually guys don't run that good.
Yeah,
like our big first baseman. Like, he runs pretty good. I was using him in the 2-hole last year for a while because he was get on base and then steal. It was funny.
What a man! What a strange player, actually.
They have a few strange players, Trabdondo. I think Diaz is probably their big ad.
Let's have a look.
Manny Mendez, like, that's another dude that, is he a starter? I don't think so. Like, 25 control seems like a problem, but he has 70 stamina, right? And he holds runners well. He throws an elite. Like, his pitchers are really, he has some really good stuff. Doesn't allow dingers. He's fragile. Like, I think he's probably best utilized as a reliever because he's fragile. Protects his arm. He can come in and give some max effort. He's a weird player. They have a few of those guys, actually.
25.
What?
25 control. I just don't know how this team was.
It's fun. Gil Contreras. He tried to run Gil Contreras as a starter for the first time last year. The dude has been like a really strong reliever in Castlegar. Like, half the tiers that he's ever played. And Redondo signed him, extended him. But last year they were using him as a starter for 21 games. It was like, this guy fucking hits everybody and walks everybody. What's up with this? Yeah, he's got shit control. There's a reason he was in the bullpen. But like Manny Mendez is another guy like that he's a reliever. He's probably a really good reliever. But Dickhead wants to be paid like a starter. Okay. Whatever. Run him where you're going to run him.
24.5 million first year and then 8 million.
Oh!
Then 8
That's
million,
wild.
8 million, 8.5 and 8.5 team options.
Oh, I see some other old friends here. Osvaldo Ailman. That's another River Kings legend. Stolen harshly by the Woodcocks to become a below average hitter for the majority of his career.
Wow. That is some salt right there.
He's a good guy. I like Ailman. If I were an expansion team, that's exactly a dude I would have rolled the dice on. Why the hell not? He had some upside.
Yeah.
He had all his RBers intact. Like, run with it, my man. He played half a season with me and had 13 homers, 112 OPS. It seems like a good guy to have around, but now he's 33, so it's like, okay. He just traded Izari. I don't think the value is completely off. Like, you would have probably wanted to get a bigger piece, but that second baseman prospect was pretty good. The starting pitcher was a fragile, but like had some upside. I wonder how much of it is Wolf's system. Because like he got blown up everywhere he played, but he's been growing steadily. Usually they don't grow if they're getting destroyed, but like this guy's been growing. He looks solid. Looks like he could play better. I don't know if like Wolf has like bad catchers or like bad fielders at that level. Like I've had that problem with guys before where like all my pitching on that one A-ball team sucks. And it's usually that my fielders are garbage and I'm trying to giga-brain things by having them play 8 positions, you know? Or no catchers. Or it's because you look at the team and 35 of your 45 guys are hitters and you have no pitchers. Anyways, that's enough about me and my failings. But Irizarry had a career year. He got a couple of decent pieces for him. Who's going to play instead? I don't know, man. Raul.
You can see the potential of the Rondos, but
yeah, if I squint real hard,
they're not going to light up the world on fire.
I don't think so. I think Pedro Diaz is going to be nice as a first or a DH or something. Like he should be a nice piece to hit a couple bombs. I think that like here's the thing is that they're built I think largely around the like pitching staff, which aren't amazing, but like there's some guys there. They've got some all right relievers. Like as we talked about, Contreras and Mendez are pretty good relievers. I think Alvarez. He used to be really good. I think as a starter for he used to be a really good starter. Now he's their closer. Shalom. He's old, but he was pretty good for Motor City for a while. And then later Wall Street. But I like Joe LeMay. He's fun. Like they got some fun guys. Bonacourse, he's fun.
They're just gonna be just a team just to have fun, you know. They're gonna have some shit games. They're gonna have some good games.
Oscar Romero should bounce back this year. I know I made fun of him last year because he had like a 6 ERA. And I was like, oh good, I'm gonna get 2 hit by this shitter, and then it happened. Travis is like, I swear he's been good, and it's like, yeah, he was good before. Like this year he's been an ass, and he's still gonna beat me, and it did happen. But Vanderveen, yeah,
okay like too. There's potential.
He had a good year last year. He had a good year last year.
There's potential for Rondos, but they're not going to be anything special.
Their potential is in that minor league system. I think they've got a lot of guys in the minor leagues that are pretty decent. Yeah. I'd put them in the basement dwellers. They're probably... I think their current roster is worse than the Woodcocks. They are also, though, not spending $200 million.
That's true. They're not $5 million over their entire budget.
You know what? I salute it. Like, fuck ownership.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck the owners. Fucking bunch of useless wankers.
They're going to claim that they lost $1 billion anyways and lock the players out, so whatever. Good on you, Woodcocks.
Yeah,
reach for the stars.
You show him who's boss.
Yeah, who else we got here? Oh, shit, we're into Wall Street.
Wall
Street's interesting. Wall Street's interesting. I think they're probably in the basement tier.
But they're a better team than Redondo, though.
I think for sure.
Because they basically won't get injured this year as well.
No, don't say that, you dickhead. No.
Oh, what?
You don't dare the button. Steve Beasley's been slow to come back from his unfortunate accident. He was out all last year. He's been the best center fielder in the game. Like, I know we really like legs over in Minneapolis. Steve Beasley is that tier. On Wall Street.
The real question is Steve Beasley better than Legs?
Legs has won 2 MVPs and Beasley's won 1. So, like, I think you kind of give the tie to Legs, but, like, the torch will be passed. Legs is 4 or 5 years older. And Beasley gets a little bit of a star boost because he also pitches at an okay level. He's one of those weird two-way players. I don't think he's ever been good at pitching. There's one year where he was okay.
You can make it as a middle reliever.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's only really got 2 pitches right now. I think probably getting hurt him a bit. Borderline starter is his current role, and I'd probably agree. It's the splits difference too. Like 50-40-50 is passable. Like, if I were bad, I would definitely use that as a starter. But like, it's really the bad is the prime.
Yeah. The bat is the money maker.
He rakes righties. Yeah, he's really good. I like Steve Beasley a lot. We'll save it for our follow-up podcast, but like, there's some spicy stuff going on there. I think that Wall Street, I don't see a lot of reason for hope. I like Adam Hoban in the rotation. Like, that was not a bad signing. They're not paying him a lot of money to be effective. He's okay. Like, he could be all right. He's got some pitches. He can keep the ball down. Whatever. Bob Fuentes has been their long-time top prospect. I think they're hoping that he hits the ground running. He's okay. Could probably be a mid-late rotation guy. Forster had that one miracle season. He's still an effective player. He doesn't look as good as he did during that season, but like, did we think he was going to be a borderline like 4th or 5th on the ballot for pitcher of the year every year? Probably not, but he's part of the solution here. I think they've struggled a little bit in player identification in the draft, and it kind of puts them where they are at. I think Tycho Tarnavius. I think he's really good. It's a really good closer.
Yep.
I know he had hoped that third pitch would come in. He could be like that elite top of the rotation arm. He's a really good closer. Yeah.
He'll cause some troubles.
Absolutely. I think this team has some really standout players that put it apart from some of the similar teams. Their system does not look particularly good, which is problematic for them to move up into the next, like, the pretenders tier. O'Frady is probably a Hall of Famer. He's been amazing for a long time. Like, Salazar had some highlights to his career. He had a real rough season last season, but like, there's a couple guys here who are okay. Like, current roster, Mode Redondo, like, it's about that, but they've got a couple guys that carry it above them.
Like, I think the Wall Street pitching is much, much better than the Redondos. Like,
I would agree. Yeah, especially the relief, like, in the late innings. Although, like, Redondo just added a couple of those guys, and they're really good. Like, the closer here is better. Like, that's one of the better closers, top 10 closer. The other thing is like, if you're going to say who's the best hitter, who's the most impactful hitter on either side, Redondo is like, what, Bonacorsi? Steve Beasley is definitely the best player on Money Grabbers, and he's a really good hitter. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, you're not going to beat Steve Beasley in a hitting contest.
Yeah, probably not. Really high-end center fielder. Could be even better in right if he's lost a step with that gruesome injury last year. I'm not sure. But I like Jose Hernandez a bit. Valder Peterson's okay. I think there's a few pieces here.
He's gonna... I reckon he's top of the basement dwellers.
You think he's better than the Woodcucks, eh?
Yeah.
Could be.
I reckon he's better than the Woodcucks.
One of these days, though, the Woodcucks are going to be good. They've got a good prospect pool, like, one day.
Yeah, one day. But
Who else we got here?
this year is not the year.
Who else we got here?
We got Zurich.
Oh, Zurich. They were they had a really good spring training. Could bode poorly for their division.
They were the best spring training team.
Yeah, they had a really. I didn't love their off season. Like they lost a couple pieces. They had lost 40% of their starting rotation. They're stuck a little bit with budget, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be slowing them down in spring training. I think Sluggo Rodriguez is a really nice piece to build around. Warnkin. Warnkin has always been pretty good.
You need to be careful with that choice of words.
Yeah, I know. Penate has always been a strong center fielder. Like he's probably top 8. He's really good defensively, and I think he was like top 8 in WAR last year. He's a good piece. They need more out of Ascari. He was fine last year, bordering on good. Like ideally, he'd probably drop the ball less in the outfield. I don't love the shortstop, but maybe he can be effective. Like it's fine as a. I do like the pitching staff. They've got a lot of young arms in here. Like you look at the average age here. Like who's the oldest guy in their rotation? 27. It's 27. The oldest guy is 27. Nelson Nielsen, and he has been amazing since he came into the league. Like you look, his rookie season was okay. After that, he's just top. Like he's a top 2 in the rotation. Just a lockdown piece. I really like Nelson Nielsen. He could have won a Holland last year. He was close, really close. I think that's a really nice piece at the top of the rotation. I like David Chavez. I like him a bit. He's an Iron Man. They never get hurt. You know how that goes. Leo Williams, I think has good stuff. He can get dingered around a little bit, but like he's got some really high end stuff. He's got some good pitches. I like that guy. I tried to get him in trade for Yamamoto a couple years ago, and he wouldn't budge. Joe Moderum is good ? Like that's the thing, is that a lot of these pitchers haven't been good before. Nielsen's really the only lockdown guy that's been good. Chavez has been good too. So they've got like those 2 guys that have been good. There's a lot of guys here that you kind of hope have more to give. Schilling's one of those. Like I think Schilling could be good. Van Atta is another. Like he's an extreme ground ball guy, worm killer. I think he could be really good. There's a few guys here that just haven't shown it yet, but they could be good, and that describes like 4 out of the 6 guys that could be in the rotation.
I think they have a rotation in a few years that potentially would challenge what the current Monkees and I've got the other team. Wuhan, I think, was it the other one? For being one of the best pitching rotations to cause trouble. Their lineup's getting there slowly and steadily. Like Zurich are not far from being a very much a contender ring collecting team. Just need a few more trades for like some real top end players, you know. And yeah, they're not far, but this year is not currently the year. But I reckon they'll be close to being on the bubble.
I have them in the bubble. Honestly, I have them as a bubble team, especially after their strong spring training. I think that, Luis Santana doesn't even look bad. Like, they've just got a lot of potential. It's always a question whether they're going to reach it. I don't see a lot of sure bets outside of, like, Alex Rodriguez and Brian Wankin and Cesar Pinate. Those are the guys that I know are generally going to be pretty good. Aguirre is actually a really good third baseman. He doesn't hit for power, but he's average-ish hitter and a really good glove. Like, I like this team a bit. If they have some health, like if they get some good luck with health, I think they could contend for a wild card. I think I have them. I don't think they're as good as the Zabbys. They have the upside, like especially in that rotation. Like if that rotation just goes off, this team could challenge. Like especially with Washington struggling with injury or aging, like could this team be second in this division?
Yeah. It's similar to the Bears, where this team has the potential to be.
They seem young. They seem really young. Like, is this team super young to you? Like, there's only a couple guys.
There's only 5 guys in the lineup that are or within currently in their spring training roster for batting is 5 people over the age of 30, and the oldest is 32.
Yeah.
This
is a really
very young team. Yeah,
super young team. I think there's a huge range of outcomes here. Like there's certain teams, Bears, Zabbys, River Kings, Lynx, all huge range on where they could finish. They could be like absolutely amazing. They could be wretched. It's going to depend on health and where the young players go.
It's very much I think Zurich are probably the most unknown team.
They've got a huge range of outcomes.
Yeah.
We'll see where they go. I think they're a bubble team, honestly. I put them behind, I think, the Zabbys. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think because it's very well, we could put them in the choking hazard group.
I think it's probably good where they're at.
Because they are also a choking hazard team, you know.
We could put them top of the choking hazard.
We'll put them top of the choking hazard.
Okay, cool. I think that they could be like, we could be looking at this team like we look at the Bats, like next season. Like
right.
we could we could be looking at them and be like, oh yeah, see they got good defense, they don't have enough offense, their pitching's really strong. Like,
right. now for the final team in the Scoshe.
I'm biased. You can start this one off.
Right.
I'll yell when I think something's wrong.
Right, Castlegar. Let's have I don't write notes. Well, I did write notes and I forgot my notes.
A lot of transition this offseason.
Yeah, so this guy's gone to Kirkland. 36 million. So
I think your scouting is a little softer on that guy than I am. Mine thinks he's one of the best second basemen in the league.
Yeah, right. So as far as I know of the Castlegar, their budget got ripped away from them and had to trade quite a few players and get rid of a few players because of money constraints. So,
yeah, the budget got ripped away and then sent right back after everybody left.
Classic ownership.
Classic ownership. Yeah, it is what it is. I'd rather.
I think the Castlegar pitching is pretty solid. There's nothing to Mikkel Perry, 5.4 WAR season.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
he's a pretty good player, you know.
Your rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, he's rookie of the year. That was his first season.
Then you got the Englishman. Ethan 2.7.
Yeah, he's a piece. I think he could be better than last year. I have a better. My scout likes him better than yours, but he's got some really good pitches. I think he struggles once guys get on base, but he's good.
And then Danny Marino. Everybody knows Danny Marino.
Well, oh no, he got downgraded to fragile. Oh, Bear, you've cursed me. How dare you curse me this? Oh, that's a new thing. That was not there last sim. Shit.
So apparently in the new sim, Danny Marino has become fragile, as you can tell.
One injury, one buttoning. That's so unfortunate. That's a former first-round pick. He has some pretty electric stuff. He's a good guy. Keeps the ball down. In 2 half seasons, 28 starts, he's been worth 4.3 WAR and 5.4 R WAR. I think some people said he was replacement level. I think that might be probably off. That's one that I think is probably wrong. You just got to look at the numbers. He's pretty good. Will he continue to be good after the injury? That's a bigger question, and that's fair.
And as you can tell, he's fragile. So can he make it beyond 3 months of the season? Who knows? It's the Castlegars. We know what Castlegar like.
We'll see.
Corey Rice. Man's going to be dingered.
He is going to be dingered. He has led the league in home runs since he joined the league. Look at that. Every year, 4 seasons, 54, 57. Oh, this guy is such a champion amongst men. I don't have home runs, raw home runs on my leaderboard, so I never see this. I just see home run rate.
So, Corey Rice.
Yeah, he can be good.
Good stuff, good control. Man's not going to hurt some people. But Man's going to get the guy a lot.
I like the guy a lot. I think he's a nice pitcher. I don't know.
Man's gonna try Ks or dingers. That's the game.
Yeah, his big thing is like how many base runners he allows, because he doesn't walk guys and he doesn't he doesn't hit guys. So it's really how many balls land for hits and how much my defense helps him out. Because like he's gonna get hit for dingers. Like you know that's happening. Like no way. But it's how many guys are on base when that happens determines how effective he is. He's one of those guys that you're like, oh, this shitter's got a 5 ERA, and then he comes in and strikes out 10 guys and 2 hits you. He's exactly that guy for other teams. I completely understand it now.
So I guess Peking, he had 32.4 ERA, so, you know.
I don't think he had the best spring, did he?
It got better as time went on.
Nah. I don't know, he's pretty consistent.
He played against Newfoundland twice and got 13 Ks in the 2 games.
That's fun. That's less than I'd expect him to get in the regular season. Yeah, he's a guy. Like, I just think he ultimately evens out to be like almost a 2-WAR, like kind of average dude. I love the guy as a number 5 in my rotation because he can like go off on a game. He sometimes gets battered. It happens. He's a number 5 starter. How many number 5 starters are better? Like Minneapolis? I don't know. Like there's some teams that have better guys, but like for a team like me, pay $1 million and get like 1-2 WAR out of your 5th starter, like that has value.
I believe that's the hashtag worth.
Yeah, I don't know. I had some like I thought of using Jamie Zavala in the rotation. I think he's a really effective stopper. He was really good in the bullpen last year. The problem is like I just don't think I've got like who's he going to knock out of the rotation? Like I guess Gabriel Ortiz. But Ortiz was worth a win last year and half a season. Like, he could be good.
Yeah, he'd be like, alright. He's not going to be.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, he's got some stuff. He doesn't walk a lot of dudes. He's got 3+ pitches. He's got 2 shit pitches. He's got some stamina. Like, would it be crazy if he was an effective number 4 pitcher?
No.
I don't think so. I don't have faith in him. I don't have faith in him at all. That's why I have Kim on the roster.
He's a workhorse. That's what he is.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Like I think it's fair for me to give him a shot to see what he can do.
So you got Lewis Nava and Jamie Zavala.
Yeah, I'm using them both. Those are both kind of starting pitcher tier guys. Nava got fragile, so I moved him to the bullpen. He was surprisingly effective last year until playoffs. He was really bad in the playoffs, which broke my heart. Zavala was really effective. He had a really good spring training. I think he allowed like a run in 14 innings. I think that's probably my best reliever and potentially a strong starter. I think I wasn't using him because of the stamina thing.
Yeah.
That's the big thing for me, and like use an opener or whatever, Alex, but then that takes a weapon out of my bullpen. And I think last year I didn't even have him called up for a while. Travis kept calling me to try, well, not calling me, but like, hey, so how much for Zavala? Like, what do you want for Zavala? I think Zavala. I like Zavala. And I was like, I don't really want to. He's pre-arb. There's no reason for me to trade this guy pre-arb. And but basically I had like he had options. A lot of my other guys didn't, so I sent him down to start. He hadn't had a great 2039 season. He was okay. But yeah, he turned into my most reliable reliever last year.
Yeah, Zavala's like a very good reliever and starter. Starter's iffy because of the stamina, but like
if you used an opener.
Yeah, you can use it
as like a soft toss, an opener, or a lefty or something that you could throw in there. Like I would go that way.
It'll do a job, and then the lineup.
Yeah, the bullpen's weird because there's a lot of guys that could be very effective. There's a lot of guys that are like I claimed a bunch of waivers guys. Just throw them on a wall to see if I can find some long relievers. Trent Schultz I sent down. He had options. He's probably gonna get jettisoned in the sun if he doesn't have options. Like. He didn't have a good spring training. I think he had like an 8 ERA. He had options left. I sent him down. Maybe it saves me some money in ARB. Whatever. Carlos Cota, not historically good, was really effective for me last year. Whatever, like $2 million. I'd pay $2 million for that.
I'd pay $2 million for it.
Asai I sent down. He's just a dude that I keep there in case I run into injury trouble. Like he's got some stuff. He'd struggle in my park. Doesn't have great mentals. That Park guy I used to have is like basically a better version of that guy. So I don't know. The bullpen, there's some options there. It'll probably be shit. Feel free to pin this.
It's improved over the last few years. This year, who knows?
You hear a lot of it. Like I never have a good record in one-run games. I don't know. It's probably when my defense is shitty. Like I seem to remember a certain third baseman that was okay all year, making 4 errors in a game. Like I don't know, man. Castlegar shit happens. Lineup, I'm optimistic about it. It could also be awful. Like the game doesn't like my team right now. It thinks I'm probably 460 team or something, like 4th in the division or something. Yeah, fifth. There you go.
Worse than the Redondos.
I find that hard to believe. Like one win better than Wall Street.
Barely better than Wall Street.
Like I guess, like I see it. Like especially if the game doesn't rank young players that haven't performed yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if it doesn't like rookies or guys that haven't played full seasons, I can see why it's low. Danny Moreno has yet to play a full season. Ortiz not played a full season. The lineup, it's like I'm starting a rookie second baseman. I'm trying Angelo Gonzalez. He's a former first round pick. He's 25. It's fucking time he earns his keep. Like, let's see what I can get out of that guy. If he sucks, I'll send him to AAA and we'll see what else we can do there.
And then the lineup.
I'm running a rookie left fielder. Like I'm running a rookie designated hitter. I'm running a rookie first baseman. I'm running a rookie backup catcher. Like there's a lot of young players there. Some of them are going to flop. Some of them are going to play. We'll see what happens. But I see why the game doesn't like it. There's not a track record there to be like.
I think my biggest issue would be this contact. Look.
Yeah.
Your team might be struggling against K's, it seems, this season.
It always is. Like you have to understand that since Adam Mooney left, and Sue, Wei Quing Sue, I haven't had real contact hitters there. I make up for it by having really high I. Losing Lewis Jenkins hurts there, but like I've routinely been low batting average, high OBP, high slugging. We'll see how much that continues. I think your scout doesn't like Daniel Garcia as much as mine. That's one of my rookies there. I got a 55 contact and a 70 I. Like I think that dude's going to be pretty. Like we'll see if he's effective. Played a little bit last year and was roughly average. I think he's going to be effective for me. I would wage run him more than Angelo Gonzalez. This is the year we find out if Jung Hoon Kim is good or not.
I think the real question for the Gar is in comparison to the Bears batting, which is very much defense first, batting second, is Castlegar similar in that
Take a look
style?
at the defense. Take a look at the defense.
Take the look at the defense. Here we go.
Well, I'm just saying, if you look at the defense, I have good catchers. I've got good fielders. Like ultimately, there are some good fielders on this like in this roster. I kind of anti-bear. Like I have like some defensive, like good defensive players, but like I don't do the same things that you do. I swing for the fences. I look for walks. I look for homers.
I hit runs too.
I think this is a bubble team, honestly. Like if we're trying to put it back on the tier, it's a bubble team. There's an ace present. It's a couple guys. It's some typical Castlegar bullshit when guys like Kinfu Coyote hit 30 bombs. Aaron Yoder hits 40. Everyone fucking but this Yoder guy sucks. And it's like, well, we have synergy, man. He's a good defender. He doesn't have obvious weak spots offensively. He's gotten a little slower. He doesn't steal bags like I never really had him stealing bags, but he used to run a little bit more. Dude rakes lefties, and my park suits him. He has really good home road splits. I figured that out last year when it was like, why is he hitting good?
Why does he do so well? Wow.
Why is this guy effective? He looks like such an average player, and he's routinely like 3.5, 4 wins. Like that's actually a really strong outfielder.
No, it doesn't show. I can't do it.
You have to look at the actual like interesting.
It doesn't allow home versus away. There you go.
You know what it is though? Is that I think it does. You just have to look at it in the splits once actual games have happened.
Oh no.
It'll split it. You know how they split it by month and stuff in the splits? That's what'll happen. But yeah, anyways, I think he's good. The game thinks he's like the 20th best outfielder or right fielder. That seems really low. So I could see why the game would think that I'm bad. I could be bad.
You could be bad, but
like Edgar Vargas could be shit.
I would have put you on the up on the higher pretenders part.
I think I'm a bubble team. I think there's a reasonable odd. Like, is it possible that this is the third place team in the division? Super possible. Like, who's third in this division?
It's either yours or Zurich.
Probably. Right?
But Zurich are a choking hazard, so...
They are a choking hazard. I think, like, here's the thing. I would argue that Zurich is underperformed for the attributes present, and I'd argue that I've overperformed. Does that equal out? I don't know. Take a look at some of the young players though. Like, they're not really being accounted for in the projections. Like, Juan Velez is the second best prospect in the game. That dude's probably gonna rake. Like,
man's gonna cause problems.
I think he is. Like, I think I used him in the playoffs last year, and he didn't have a great playoff. He hit like 200 in the playoffs and didn't really hit for power, but he got like a 400 OBP. Like, he was walking a lot. He was still worth like a 112 OPS plus. Like, there's pieces there. Is this the year they all come together? I don't know that that's the case. I have a feeling this is going to be fourth in the division. I think Zurich's going to beat them, but I think on how things have gone the last few years, I think we probably rank Castlegar higher right now.
That's why Zurich are a choking hazard.
That's basically it. I think Zurich is probably a more impressive roster. Like, yeah.
I think that roster is much better, but
I think they're probably comparable.
We all know how the Bears, the Montreal, and Zurich all function in their respective divisions.
Well, I just mean, like, there's guys that often get overlooked. Like, they're never the best at their position, but like Victor Torres has routinely been a really effective offensive player in Castlegar. Danny Gutierrez, crippling errors in the playoffs last year, but like, you're talking about a guy that's like an average defensive third baseman with 120 OPS plus. He hits dingers. Like, is the big Al at third base. Like, there's Kinfu Coyote is not the best anywhere. Roughly average hitter at shortstop, where a lot of guys run sentient gloves. Dude banged out 32 dingers last year. If that's like your number 7 or 8 hitter, like, I don't know. I am biased. However, I think this lineup is potent offensively. It's missing a contact bat or two that would diversify it to truly be a contender, but this is the definition of a bubble team. High range of outcomes. Could be fourth, could be second.
Definitely potential.
Big 3-4 energy.
Very much a Zurich versus Castlegar situation. Right, we are now in the cold.
Yeah, we're flipping back over.
Back to the Cold War.
I don't even know where I'm sitting on this one. Let's do the basement first.
The basement.
Yeah, let's do the basement of this one.
Ooh.
Who's definitely basement? Like, you probably think what, Springfield, New Jersey probably are not basement. They're probably in the Pretenders.
The Pretenders.
I don't know. Springfield might be bad enough now.
Let's have a look.
They had an okay off season.
I mean, it's the Cold War. It's a bloodbath.
Like, they added a lot of pieces. Like, Matt Ropp could be a bounce back. He's never hit as bad as he did last year. Like, that could be a 2-war bat. Like, there's some upside there. He's clearly declining. Monkees legend, but like, he could be effective.
Yeah, there's an opportunity.
Some of the relievers, like Brian Thomas, has been an effective starter. Like, I think he's got some upside there. He's okay. But like, this is a team that is bottoming out to retool. Like, they have one really, really strong player, Carlos Aguiar.
Mm-hmm. And he has a no trade clause.
Yeah, he's really refusing to do that. But, like, there's some guys here that could produce. Like, Ji-Hoon Jung didn't have a very good season. He hasn't been amazing for a couple years. But, like, he's a guy. Daniel Farrow is usually okay as a second baseman until he gets hurt. That Oda guy, really good defense and can walk. Like, he gets on base. I can appreciate that. Dan Bemis is wrecked, but, like, he can play outfield. He's good defensive. He hits a little bit. Like, he gets on base. Paul Prindle had a pretty good bounce back last year, actually. He was an above average hitter. Like, is he the best first baseman? He isn't. But, like, you're paying $3 million for a guy who's going to hit 30 dingers. Like, all right. Gordon Warwick has kind of fallen off a bit since is getting into the league. Like, he's been a Gold Glove third baseman. I think he needs to hit better. Like, if he provides Gold Glove defense and is roughly 3 WAR, then you're pretty happy with who that is. But last year was tough. He wasn't as good defensively, and he didn't hit at all. Like, 25 dingers, not bad, but, like, he's struggling to get on base a little bit. Like, if you're not going to make 300 OBP, it's difficult. You can't hit 25 dingers and be like, yeah. That's not a 25 dinger number if you're like if you're getting on base less than 30% of the time. That's like I want 50 plus.
Yeah, I feel like Springfield are definitely going to be probably the worst team in the Cold War division. Maybe not by much, because then in a lower division there'd be a 4th, 5th team, maybe 3rd. Yeah. Springfield. The pitching's okay. It's not great though. It's probably one of the worst pitchings in the league in comparison. Like, they're solid players, but not.
Man, we're going so much longer than that other video. I'm just looking at the time.
Yeah,
it's been 2 hours.
2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh my god. Let's whiz through this a bit. Springfield basement, top of the basement.
I don't think they're basement. I think they're just low pretenders. I don't think any of the Cold War
You think
teams
they're pretenders? Yeah, you know what? They're probably about there. Yeah, let's do pretenders. Do you think they're better than Soviet?
I think they're better than Soviet.
Oh, do you think their pitching is, though? Like,
their pitching is a bit dog, though.
It's very rough. It is very rough.
Dog. Right, next one. Hillbillies, let's go.
No, hold on. There's, we forgot about New Jersey.
New Jersey.
You know what's, I remember hating this franchise when they were Boston. It was like, fuck Boston.
And now in New Jersey, you don't hate them as much because they just don't cause problems.
It's one of those teams that I don't think about. Like, I don't think we mention them very often at all. This format works because we have to. I just think they're very forgettable. I don't see them finishing higher than 5th, maybe 4th in this division if someone blows up. I don't know. Bang Who is really good. Who's very good. I love that there's a guy named Luigi Lecoq on this team.
It is.
He's got to be there for a name. There's no way. He's not pitched good. Like, he's been like a negative player in the majors. But, like, his name's Luigi Lecoq. That's got to be it. Like, look at that. Holy crap.
I love the French capper.
He's been minus 0.6 WAR across 3 seasons, and his R WAR has been abysmal. What is that? minus 3? Minus 3 R WAR? Oh. Yeah, so that's not like a good player. He looks like he could be effective, but he just hasn't been. He's got a fun name, though. He's got a fun name.
The pitch is better than Soviet.
I like Aldo Brack. I like Aldo Brack a bit as a reliever. I think Silvio Van Zanten could be effective. I don't think there's like a lockdown closer here per se, but there's a bunch of guys that could be effective in the bullpen. Okamoto is like a outfielder / relief pitcher, which is wild.
It's a pretty good relief pitcher as well. It's not affecting
What a weird player.
Nothing to what's the word?
He was using him as a starter last year. Look at that. Oh no, that doesn't make sense. It says he's got 34 games started, but there's no way he pitched 34 games.
Unless he was opening.
Oh, he could have been an opener. Yeah, there's the opener into outfield replacement.
Oh,
what a weird player. I like that. That's fun. That's fun. It's not as forgettable. I think that was like a trade with Joel or something. I think that was one of the players Joel offered me in a potential trade. And I was like, ugh, I don't see how he plays. Like,
I don't want to take that pain.
He's all right. Like, I don't know. Zermano is pretty good hitter. 40 homer bat. They got a couple power hitters. Bok Choy is okay as a right fielder. I expect him to be better. Sorry, Bayo Choi. I expect him to be better than 92 OPS plus. I just don't think they're going to generate enough offense, really. If I look at it, David Cohen's a free agent.
The team's very much balanced with Springfield. Their pitch is better, but I don't think their offense is better.
I think New Jersey has more players. I think they got more players. They don't have an Aguilar. Like they like, you know, Aguilar.
Yeah.
They just don't have a guy that's like that. Bang Hoo's the closest. Zermano's pretty good too. I don't know. I think they're better than Springfield.
I think they're like bang on par with Springfield in a different.
I think they're limbo, man. They're limbo. I think they might be better than Soviet. I don't know. Omar Napolio was really good last year. Like, he was pretty damn effective. Noel Jansen has been really good before. Like, there's a few guys that have been good before. Doi looks pretty good. No Doi. I don't know. I think their rotation really separates them against a team like, say, Soviet or Springfield.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 pitchers that have a reasonable chance of being positive contributors there.
Mm.
And they've got some fun names like Gunder Thodberg, Aldo Brack, Luigi Lecoq. Like, their bullpen is fun. They got the guy that's...
Right, there's an issue there, though. Names don't win you games. Just go throw it out there.
I think they're more fun. Chris Gombos could come back a bit. Like, he's got some stamina still. Like, he used to be good. Like, he used to be really good for this team. 16.5. Like, they've definitely got a better rotation than those other teams we were talking about. I think they're a pretender.
It all depends how much that rotation you think is. I
think they're better. They're better than Soviet.
It's going to win you games more so than the
I think they might be better than Beijing or Isle of Man. Like, it's actually funny. Probably Beijing. Like, is Beijing better than New Jersey?
Man, fuck it.
That's wild. This is tripping me out. My dogs are still barking. That's cool.
Love the dogs.
Love them.
I can't be asked to cut this later either. Fuck it. It gets uploaded when I wake up tomorrow.
We'll rush through this last bit. It's actually hard though, because like now we're into the 3. I think Hannibal's the worst of the 3. I'm sorry.
We've got 4 left.
Oh no, shit. Who else?
Got Sunnyvale, Hannibal, Kirkland, and Rain City Bitch Pigeons.
Oh, well, I maintain what I said. I think Hannibal's the worst of those 4.
Yeah, the game thinks Hannibal is actually the worst team in this division. I think it is.
Oh, zing! No, New Jersey. He thinks New Jersey's worse.
Hannibal's 5th.
I believe in the Hannibal pitching. I think Hannibal's pitching is going to carry. Like that's
it's going to be exactly like last season for the Hillbillies. I think.
Yeah, they're gonna produce. I don't love their bullpen. I guess it's good. It is good. They didn't have a great preseason, but whatever. Their pitching's good. Their lineup still sucks. They've got Seki, who's amazing. Chris Clance is, I think,
they have very good offense and like very solid defense to back up their offense.
Who else is good outside of Seki and Clance?
I like Ottawa.
Williamson is okay as a shortstop, like as a glove first shortstop. I think Lachlan Ottaway, like that, they really played that well. Like, I'm often critical of some of Hannibal moves. They played Lachlan Ottaway amazing. They got good term. They didn't pay him very much. Like, that was a nice get to bring back like a franchise kind of guy. Mm-hmm. Like that they've had for a few years. It was nice to bring him back to hit a little bit. Like, he's an average hitter, but he's a really good fielder. So, like, yeah, that was a nice move. Armando Lara was reasonably effective last year. He's worse than he was here before. Like Carmichael kind of sucks.
It's like he saw
Jeremy Last frames. Like, I know what he's doing. Like, his pitching staff is really good. Lineup has like 2 good hitters, and
the rest just fill out the gaps basically.
I think this is a bubble team. It's a bubble team to me, man.
The bubble team Hannibal.
Bubble team Hannibal. I don't think they're chokers because they overperform.
The Cold War teams are not chokers at all. The Hillbillies.
I think here's the thing. I think they're worse than Castlegar. Like, I really do. But I think they've got better playoff odds.
I personally think Hannibal are better than Castlegar.
Are you?
No pain, please. I'm always a big fan of the Hannibal teams, especially with Klonks and Seki, and then they got Ottawa, Seti to back them up. Like, there's 4 players, and then you have a 5. Well,
they've got 2 good hitters, dude. They've got 2 good hitters. Yes, Seki is really good hitter, but like, come on, like. He's phenomenal. That's a 6-1 that easy.
You have to think they got a very good pitching, and then they got 2 very good batters backed up by 2 okay batters, and then the rest. But like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at with the River Kings, though? Honestly, though, you have elite defenders at center field. The issue I have with the River Kings is will they score enough runs? And they'll dinger the hell out of the ball, my man. Like, you're talking about a team that's running. That's the issue is if they make the contact with the ball, because they can't fucking hit top. They don't really. Some of them have okay eye, and some of them have okay contact. That's the problem I have. Is if they manage to. I'm just saying, the River Kings lineup is immensely better than Hannibal's. They score more runs. The team's lineups are largely unchanged from last year. The biggest difference is the River Kings don't have Jenkins or Dunn, but they have Vargas and Velez. That's the big switcheroo there. They were top 3 offense in the CL last year, and you're saying like, well, Hannibal's basically there and they're better pitching. It's like, no, they're not basically there. They have 2 hitters. Like, the River Kings are going to score more runs. Hannibal's going to prevent more runs. They'll probably have a comparable run difference. I think the gap between lineups is way wider in favor of the River Kings than it is between the pitching staffs. Wait, I need to check something. Fucking. Oh, here we go into the history. I think they had similar run differences last year. This is last year? What is it? 2040? It's not. It's not even updated on. No. Yeah, it's not updated. I have to go in here instead. So 2040. Fuck the Hillbillies. So. $795 runs. 795. 708 against. VL. Okay, and then we see 738, so 6. It's 57. 57 run difference.
Yeah. The River Kings have almost a 90 run difference there. So I'm just saying, like, the River Kings lost some guys. I would expect them to have similar run differentials. I think the gap. I think I put the River Kings ahead of them, but I think the Hillbillies have a better chance of the playoffs. All it takes is one team ahead of them to stumble. Like, I think the top of their division is less enshrined. If they have a strong season and a couple teams have weak seasons, they could be top of that division. I don't see the same avenue with Castlegar. Like, Peking is going to be better than Castlegar this year. Washington, high chance they're going to be better than Castlegar this year. So, like, the likely place for Castlegar, like, upside is probably third, could be second, probably third is their upside. Hannibal could be first in that division. The division is smushed together a little bit more, right? So I think Castlegar is a better team, but Hannibal is in a more winnable division. The top end of that division is not the same as the top end of the Scoshe, but, like, the bottom end is much higher. If that makes sense. Anyways, whatever. It's basically, it is what it is. Next up, who do we like here? Rain City, I guess, maybe? I don't know.
Sunnyvale.
Sunnyvale? I think Sunnyvale is probably the favorite for the division, but I think I said that last year.
Yeah.
They signed so many starting pitchers. It was wild. I think they've got a lot of depth. I think they learned something from the buttoning. It sucks that they lost Twine.
I like to say, though, this has happened to Sunnyvale before, multiple times, and now they've realised. Sorry, Nick. Nick has
they've got a
decided to
massive
invest
budget
in a lot of pitching this time.
The game really doesn't like their lineup as much. It loves the outfield, loves the rotation, doesn't love the infield. Their infield's definitely a weak spot comparative to some of their challengers. Like, Luis Flores is fine. He's going to hit dingers. Like, remember when I said earlier, if you're going to have a 280 OPS, 280 OPP, I want 50 homers. Hi, Luis Flores. Like, that's the guy I'm talking about. That's what I would want if my player was not going to get on base or make contact with the ball a lot. Smack the shit out of the ball when you do. Alex Ortiz, he hits homers. I don't think he's very good defensively. Like, he's an average hitter.
He's got a good. He's a captain. He does good.
He's fine. He's fine. Like, he's adequate. But, like, again, they're not getting plus value out of any of these guys. Jorge Licon, I think he could be good. Like, he should be good. Will he be good? I'm not sure. Maybe it's not this year. Maybe it is. I don't know. But, like, just on paper, and Superfly McManamy, he's been fine. 2 WAR, 100 OPS plus. Like, having average-ish players that can play in the spot like that is valuable. He's a playoff performer as well. I think he's actually a World Series MVP. He's got 3 rings. Dude is good. He's fine. So, like, it's fine. There's not a lot of plus there compared to, like, you're looking at an outfield. There's Ricky Mendez, Jim Holland, Haichi Ikeda. Like, they've got 3 outfielders that are among the best hitting outfielders that exist. So, you see where the money's going. They also have probably the best catcher in the game. Ruggero Visario is probably, like, actually, he's not the best. He's probably in the top 3. You cannot argue that he is not top 3 in catchers.
Yeah, the old is out, the new is in.
Yep. I really like Ikeda. He had a rough year last year. I think he's better than that. We'll see.
Yeah,
bounce back a bit.
The issue is Ikeda and Ricky Mendez are wrecked players.
Oh yeah, they definitely get hurt a little bit here. They have a lot of good starting pitchers though. So the thing is, if you're going to run some, like, heavy starting pitcher usage, you can get by on your weaker bullpen. I think Pinto isn't rated fairly by the game. Like, I don't think they like Pinto very much. Gordon Oliver was a international free agent. He's fragile. If his arm stays attached, he throws 101. He's an extreme ground ball guy. He doesn't walk a ton of guys. Like, I think he could be a very nice placeholder closer. Al Flores could be a starter. Like, he has been a starter historically. He's fragile, but again, like, extreme ground ball, throws hard, worm killer. Like, there's some guys here that could start.
Do you know
they
what
could
my
leave,
biggest fear is for Sunnyvale this year?
The button.
The button. Because nearly always seems like all their players are fragile or ripped.
I think it's because they're old. Like they're mixing youth in. Still a pretty old team. I guess it's not that old, but they have some old guys like Chris Knapp, Matt Martin, Ricky Mendez, Robert McManamy, Ortiz. Like those guys are old. They're definitely mixing some young guys in. I cannot believe that Ikeda is wrecked by age 26. Damn. Yeah. That sucks. But like even like key contributors like Visario, and Jim Holland, like they're 28. They're not young.
But Jim Holland's also fragile at 28.
Oh my goodness.
Like this is the fear for Sunnyvale. It's like
yeah,
and their players play fit for.
He hasn't been injured really in his career. I think their pitching staff might even be older, but like the thing is they've got so many of them that they can just burn through it if they don't work, if they get hurt.
they can just purge players they don't like and hope, or they got backup just in case 20 pitchers go down, you know?
They have 13 guys on their current roster that are 30 or older for pitchers. Obviously not all are going to make it, but like that's an old team. They're old, but like they're good. And they're bringing youth in, and their minor league system's really good. Like, yeah, they're the first-ranked minor league system. Like, okay, Mr. Clean is coming. Like, that guy's going to drop in right at the top of the rotation and just dominate. Same thing with Juan. I really like that guy. If he survives his injury, could drop right in. I was hoping to pick him. I think I traded back, or I picked someone else and hoped he would fall to me in the second round, or like early, and Nick scooped him. He looks really good. Lecon again is like a top 15 prospect. Like they've got Lecon. They've got a bunch of guys. It's a good program. I think they're going to be first in this division. I think they're probably close to a playoff lock.
My fear is for Sunnyvale is if their players can stay fit enough, long enough for the season.
I see a lot of similarities between them and Washington. They've got a better, like, younger players coming through than Washington. I'd probably put them behind Washington for current roster, but like, it's a similar franchise. Like, you tell me Halifax, Washington, Sunnyvale, they
I
have
would
like some
put them above
similarities.
Zabbys, my opinion.
Yeah, I guess that's about fair. Like, I think they're either top of the bubble or like bottom of the contenders.
Because my biggest fear of Sunnyvale is, imagine if you lose Ricky Mendez and Ikeda.
Okay, but like that's the thing is that they've got so many redundancies built in, right? Like they didn't have a great spring training, but like okay, you lose who did you say?
If you lose Ricky Mendez, you go to Jose Vázquez.
So you're looking at Marcos Gutierrez, who has been good before and looks really good. You go Mr. Clean could start. Like the dude's 23, left-handed. He's a 65, 50, 45. He looks like Werfel with Rain City. Like he looks like Werfel. He could step in. He could step into this roster. Nishimura is my pick for one of the most under the radar free agent signings. He looks better than Martinson, and he cost $15 million. 2 team options for lesser afterwards. Like that's some flexibility. I think he's a strong number 4 starter. He's a ground ball guy. I'm getting like a 50, 55, 45, 55 read. Like that's a reasonable guy for an innings eater at the back of the rotation. Like they're not paying a lot for him. I think he's got some upside. Ryan Morgan has been really good before. He was really bad last season, but he was just replacement. He was replacement level. He was replacement level in Montreal. He was a little bit better than that with Halifax, but like ultimately he led the league in losses, but he pitched good enough to keep pitching. I really like that guy. I tried to get him $3 million for that dude. He can slot in as a back of the rotation rubber arm. He's rarely if ever injured. Like, I don't know. He's got a lot of guys that could compete. So if Mendez gets hurt, yeah, it sucks. They'll move on. They've got lots more depth this year.
I'm not meaning the Kenny Mendez. I was meaning the Ricky Mendez type. Like
hilarious. I thought you were talking pitching.
Because they don't have an Ikeda in their team.
But they got one on the roster. But the thing is Ricky Mendez is playing DH. Like he's not going to play a full season, but like he routinely hits 500 plate appearances.
But like that's my fear. It's like their pitching's going to be fine. Like they got enough players that that will be a replacement level that you can just keep marching on with your pitching. But if they don't have enough like batting cover or like the equivalent batting cover, if you lose Aikida, you go down to
play Mark Boston. Like Mark Boston's won a ring with this franchise. Like he's an adequate replacement. Like he's an adequate outfielder. Maybe Pat Hutchison has a lot of home run power. Like I don't think he's played much for Sunnyvale, but like they got some guys. Like
they're reasonable, but it's.
What about Morgan Olson? He's won a Gold Glove. He won a Gold Glove in 35. Like, this is a guy who played for Isle of Man for a whole bunch of years. Like, Nick, I think you misunderstand. This dude keeps filling his minor leagues with boomers. And it's for this. It's for if Ricky Mendez goes down, he'll bring some 37-year-old dude that played 10 years ago for Isle of Man up, and he'll be an 80 OPS plus for the 2 weeks while Mendez's foot heals. Like, there's a whole bunch of those guys in this system. Like, whatever. Mark Boston's a pretty good outfielder still. He's in AAA, which is hilarious. But, like, that dude could start on a lot of teams.
It's just that's just my fear for Sunnyvale, though.
Well, that's obviously the thing that holds them back, right? Is the fragility and the relative age of the team. But they've got lots of depth. I think this year the depth is enough that they will be a playoff team.
Off the bubble.
Looks like there's going to be a sim incoming.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's gonna ruin our predictions.
We'll release it quickly and it'll be funny.
I'm just gonna
start. Oh my goodness.
You just maybe have to. I'm actually having to edit this now.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Unless you want the people to listen to you pee and then put the toilet seat back down.
Oh yeah. Well. As long as they could hear me wash my hands as well, because I did.
I did hear
my
that. My
hands smell like lavender. It's lovely. Anyways, Sunnyvale, I think they're a playoff team. You think they're bubble. If they're bubble, they're top of the bubble. I think the injuries are the big piece there.
That's the only concern I have for Sunnyvale is if they can.
Okay, here's a hot take. I like the bitch pigeons.
All right.
Why do I think that they are the team that is most likely to fall off? I like their rotation. I like their bullpen okay. Like, I like a lot about this team. I just, for whatever reason, I just don't trust their lineup. Like, there's nobody that stands out as like, that's the guy. I think Paul Tofting is probably their best player. Blaze Alexander really hits righties. He's fine. He's good. He's a good defender. He's a left fielder, whatever. I actually, Zachary Dees looks like young Brad Wire, and I keep expecting that dude to go off. I think he's going to be really strong this year. Jesus Romero is often hurt. He's going to be hurt again. I really like Hui Dong Kim in center field, elite center fielder. We just got some final predictions with final rosters going in the team news. I like the bitch pigeons. I think if there's a team that might fall off, it could be them.
Oh no!
Oh, no. Kiss of death! Kiss of death, bear!
Oh no! No! Please, why? Oh, fuck me! I hate everything.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble. Oh, Hannibal first, the new predictions. Oh, I have so many bad hot takes. Anyways, I think that if like, all right. This I think the bitch pigeons are the team that if there's a team that has to fall out because everyone's going to beat on each other, I predict it's the bitch pigeons. I like them. I just think that like if this division gets into a murderer's row where everybody's fighting amongst each other for 86 wins, like I think they could come out on the wrong side of that. Hannibal tends to win one-run games. Kirkland has their stud closer. I think Sunnyvale has the depth and some of the veteran hitters, like the impact hitters. I don't know what Rain City has. They've got a strong, like, I think it's one of those teams that's better than its aggregate. Like, it is better than what the sum of the pieces would be. But yeah, I think they're good. Probably a bubble team.
I think with Rain City, it's an average team. but with superstars sprinkled in. I think, and I say it about someone else, but their pitching is going to be, I think it's Castlegar, wasn't it? Their pitching is going to be like one of the best in the league soon, because they're young and they have the potential to become a superstar pitching.
They had the best record of the preseason. They had the best record of the preseason, so it's hard for me to be shitty about it. But like, I think that they could be a team that, like, they could be really good. They could fall the third or fourth in division.
I reckon.
I think they'd still be 80 wins. Like,
I reckon Rain City are bottom of the contenders, in my opinion.
What do you think about Kirkland then?
I think Kirkland are the best team in this division. Not by much.
I still have a lot of questions about their rotation, but like, they did add our good friend Mr. Davis. He's a real worm killer. He drives the ball into the ground. I think they did add some pieces, like Clancy Olsen, Bonehead, going to be out for 2 months. When he comes back, he's going to be good. He's 39. He walks a lot. He hits for some power. He's generally durable, but he got hurt. They make do with defense, and they added at second base. I really like Lewis Jenkins. I think he's really good. I don't know what they were doing in the preseason. They certainly weren't playing him there. It looks like they were training him to play first base, which is kind of funny, which is why his star rating is off, if you're looking at your screen.
Yep.
He walks, man. He walks, he gets on base. He plays really good at second base, too. Like, his defense is good. He's a 123 OBPS plus, almost 6'4" last year. He wasn't as good the year before for me. Like, he was pretty soft, actually, but like, he's generally been a slugger. He hits 30 homers, walks 100 times, plays good defense. He's good. I like Lewis Jenkins. I think that that contract may not age the best, but I think the player today is probably worth it. And those team options give a lot of flexibility. I think that's good. I think it's good. That's going to help diversify that offense a little bit. Still playing into the defense, strong defense. Yeah. I think they're good. I don't know that they're the best in the division, but I know they're the best primed to sucker punch expectations. Like, that bullpen, their bullpen's really strong. They've got good defense. They've got really good defense. If the rotation holds up and the offense continues to produce, like Darren Bolts doesn't regress, or if that stud third baseman they got, Hirota, if he continues to grow into himself, which he should, oh my. Like, they've got some pieces that could definitely do better, and they've got really good defense. Like, this is a team that has some upside.
Yeah, it's a team that's it's very well balanced.
Balanced, as all things should be.
All things should be.
Here's the big difference. Like, when I look at them, I'm like, is that team better than Castlegar? And I'm like, are they better for, like, do I think they're going to score more runs? I don't. Do I think they're going to like, their bullpen is just so much better. That Cho guy is ridiculous. He's so good. He was 4 wins above replacement last year. Powder, just ridiculous.
And
then, like, yeah, he's really crazy. And then, like, they just play good defense. They play good defense. There's no weak spots in defense. You don't have some dickhead third baseman getting 4 errors in a critical game. Like, that's not a Kirkland problem. So, like,
yeah, like,
I think they're very good.
That's why I think they're like one of the best teams. Like, they're backed up by a strong defense. Their pitching's solid.
I don't love their starting rotation. Their starting rotation is the softest part of it. Like, I like Tim Gillen, a Twig. I really like him. He's wonderful. Bernard Oliver's okay. Like,
they're all average, but like,
Kyle Rennie is okay. Like, he's holding on. He's fragile. He's old, but he's holding on and being a valuable player. Like, it's okay. It's fine.
The thing is, their defense will make these pitchers like one and a half star higher than they look. They make their attributes like stronger.
Well, it's clearly what I'm trying to do too, right? With the River Kings, is that I'm running like above average defenders everywhere I can. Like, if I can do it, I will.
It's very much becoming a defense first league now. It's gone from batting to
wild
defense.
Well, the thing is that certain positions everybody cares about defense, right? Like shortstop, center field, catcher, everyone cares about defense. I see some weird teams running guys that can't hit worth a lick in right field, left field, third base, whatever. Like, do what floats your boat, but like that's wild. The big ones that are impactful that you see that everybody's zone rating sucks because there's so many guys running glove first is like shortstop, center field, catcher.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised Dunn took so long to sign. I figured somebody would be like, oh yeah, 70 defender, 75 defender in center field that was walks a lot and steals bases. Okay. Yeah, I like Kirkland. Where would we put him on the chart?
I think they are...
You've convinced me. Like, I think their rotation's better than I was giving them credit for. To me, about Sunnyvale or Rain City. Like, yeah, okay, that works. I just, okay, there's so much variance there. Like, we have 3 teams ahead of Hannibal. Hannibal's probably going to get one of those spots. That's what I'm saying. There's a bunch of bubble teams there, man.
Yeah, it's like if any of these teams were in another division, they would be second or first guaranteed.
Well, I don't know. Like, again, the Scoshe has 2 teams that are better. Like
yeah, like the Scoshe has 2 teams that bad, but like if you get put them in the Mickey Mouse clubhouse, they can win the division. You know. Like,
I still think Pyongyang is better, but yeah, any of those teams would probably be.
They're at least challenged.
They're
like,
about on
severely.
par with Wuhan. Like they're good. Like these teams are all good. It's the parity, right? So.
That's just.
Well, there we go. We have a rough idea.
That's the rough idea. That's that. Save the image so I can post it.
Yeah, there we go. So, like, should I quickly drop a couple of the story points that we were thinking of podcasting? Because I don't think we can do podcast now. Like,
Yeah.
We just kind of went through every team. Quick thought on for me. I think there were some off-season winners. I think Peking was an off-season winner. They added a lot to their team. They didn't lose a lot. They're looking pretty good. I think they win the Scoshe. Kitchener, I think, was an off-season winner. I have questions about Grigo for Barada, but they got a good young roster. They got some low-cost, high-upside pieces, lots of depth. I think Sunnyvale was an off-season winner. They added a lot to the rotation. That was their weak spot last year. I think my hot take there is Nishimura is better than Anderson, at least this season. There's a couple teams trending upwards. I think New Forest trending upwards. They added, like, Matt Hicks coming back from injury is big. Francisco Chaidez could be really strong for them. Dave Garza could be a nice reliever, maybe a swingman. Alex Castellanos, a full season out of him, going to be big. Joel K, losing him sucks, but I think you are going to see better returns for the defense side of things. I think Montreal, the additions they made, have put them where they could make a playoff spot. We'll see. I gave points to Newfoundland. I think they made some small steps forward. It's not enough to get them out of the basement, but like, good on them.
You can see progress being made, and there's a couple of teams that are going down, but that's because they had their moments in the sun, and like.
Well, the teams going down, like the ones that I really had were Castlegar and Wuhan. I think Castlegar lost a lot in free agency and trade before they got that budget back.
Wuhan and Springfield.
Yeah, nobody lost more war than Castlegar. Jenkins, Dunn, Arias, Garza, Ropp. Like they don't have a bench anymore. Like that was a big bad off season. Maybe Steve Tillett helps later on. Edgar Vargas could be good. I don't think he is, but we'll see. It's really like a transition. It's a retooling season there. Wuhan doing some of that too, trading Kai Cherry. They didn't have to do that, but they were trying to get their budget in order for future seasons. Big losers, small market teams. Teams that added the most: Kitchener, Peking, Springfield, Beijing. Those are all top 10 budgets. Sunnyvale, top 5 budget. Newfoundland is the weird oddity there. They have the 20th ranked budget, but like most of the teams that gained the most were top budgets.
Yeah.
Top half. Rich get richer.
Rich get richer, the poor get poorer.
Well, the teams that lost the most were Castlegar, 16th ranked payroll or budget. Zurich, 15th. Halifax and Pyongyang, a lot of the war they lost was in rental players, so I don't really count those. They're both top 10 budgets, but like Rain City lost a bunch, they're 13th. Isle of Man 24th. New Forest lost a bunch, Bond Paper 21st. Like the top end of budgets gained more than the bottom end. Does that mean that we're not going to see parity moving forward? I don't know. I think this is going to be another pretty even season. But like that's a thing to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Bring in the salary cap. No.
Bring in the salary cap, max 200 million. Let's go.
Oh, there you go. Oh man, Monkees would have to cut like 200 million off their team. I had some storylines. I had some storylines here. Who's going to win the Cold War? That's a big question. Sunnyvale, I think, like in my mind, if everybody's healthy, I think Sunnyvale wins. I don't think everybody's gonna be healthy.
I reckon it's gonna be Kirkland.
It could be like if health comes into effect, Rain City or Kirkland could definitely give them another run. I think both those teams are well positioned. Hannibal, always a weird scrappy team that has two good players in the lineup and good pitching. Dark horses. I think that CL has some serious dark horses. Zabbys, Bears, Lynx, River Kings, huge outcome ranges. Anywhere from like first or second to fifth in the division. It's hard to make predictions with some of the parity and some of these teams that have massive outcomes.
So what it's going to be is Cold War is going to be Kirkland, Sunnyvale, Hannibal. Hero Spammer is going to be Monkees, Halifax, Montreal just going to miss out.
Oh.
Mickey Mouse is going to be Pyongyang, Zabbys, and then the Scoshe is going to be Ducks, Washington, Zurich.
Fair enough. I got a last dance scenario here for the basement. The Woodcucks, they had their QOs on their pitchers accepted. They're both like 24. Are going to be free agents at 25. Neither has had any sustained success, but because of their age, I think that they're going to be blown up with some mega offers. This is last dance. They're over their budget. What are they going to do? Will they take the first steps towards leaving the basement of the Hero Spammer division? No, but I hope they do. I hope they do, man. Like, I hope they have a good one.
You can see the progress that they're going to make.
Yep, you would hope, right? Like, fun times. Do we have any other things? We had that leak. We had that fun leak to discuss.
Oh? I might have been
Steve Beasley. Steve Beasley.
Oh yeah.
We got word from within the Wall Street organization that Steve Beasley could go on the trade block in the near future. Team feels like it's not going anywhere fast. It feels it's doing a disservice to the player, and the player's becoming expensive on a low budget team. They just don't see I don't know if they see a future where they are a good contender with this player in their lineup. Like, it's going to take a while to get there with the system they have. What do you think?
I think it might be the best move for the franchise going forward, because if you think about how much he's going to afford cost for a team, you're going to get quite a bit for Steve Beasley, especially at his current age and his skill level.
Yeah, he's got one more ARB year after this and a couple years of control here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's 26, I think?
27 now.
27. So you got about, 6 years minimum, I think, usually in a player like that. So, one more year of up, and then you can have 6 years, let's say 5 years, 30 million. Be pretty good.
Yeah, could be fun. I see a few teams that could go for him, right? Like, there's a few teams, like Pyongyang. Like, I don't love their center fielder, Greenberg. He's okay. He's 25. He's got good defense, like, whatever. But I don't think he's good.
Yeah.
Right? I think if you have an opportunity to add a guy like Beasley, a strong lefty bat, like, that still makes you left-handed heavy, but like what does that take them to? The Monkees level? I think that's a good move for them. I don't think the Monkees would use him, but like maybe they do something weird to move Beasley to right field.
The stars that they have.
Martinez to left field. Who's the other guy there? Maybe they then move Flores to second base, where he can actually play a plus game at second base. So like they could fit this guy into their roster. Fuck, I hate the thoughts of that. I think Halifax is a team. Like they let Villanueva walk. I've been having talks with the Halifax org. They said they were waiting for a star to come out. If a star's on the block, I don't think you can do better than Steve Beasley. So I would think Halifax would be a significant team in that. Tianyu Ao, 25. He's got all his years of control. I think that's the start right there. That player. I don't think he's the key point, but I think that's they trade back a replacement center fielder that you're going to get some value out of. I think probably one of Angelo Valencia, 22 years old. He's fragile, but he has huge upside as a pitcher. Still waiting on that changeup. He's probably on the elite reliever or like a pretty strong starter if that changeup comes around. Or Leon Breen. He's an elite shortstop, second baseman. Doesn't play great defense, but like his bat is so strong. If you played that guy at second base, he'd be like average defense and like rake best second baseman in the league kind of. And maybe you see another player like they've got a high-end glove in the system, shortstop Josh Watson, if like it was Valencia that was included, or like a Sal Hernandez, if Breen, maybe a first involved. Like Halifax has the pieces to move to get Steve Beasley. I think some of these other teams do too. Like Pyongyang, I think, is a team that could do that. Greenberg going back the other way, probably one of those starters like Tamaz or Ji-Hoon Park. They got some pre-arb years and they're strong. They're 25. They got some prospects that look okay too. Mario Casada or Jorgen Kronborg. He's got an elite nickname, that guy. Pudge. His change of controller is scary, but he's got some upside. Someone like Esteban Tenori. He's 20 years old. He's got a polished bat, good character. He could be a piece that goes there, plus a first. Like I think Pyongyang has some pieces that could be appealing there as well. Beijing could make a surprise move. Like maybe that gets him into that talk with the Expos. I don't know. Who do you think could get this? Who do you think would be a serious suitor on Steve Beasley? Has the pieces to make that work?
I reckon Pyongyang would be the number one suitor to make the attempt, because I know they've been sniffing around for a superstar to go to line up. So I think Pyongyang are probably the favourites to go for Steve Beasley.
Could be. I think Halifax, especially because it's outside of the conference, being over in the VL, I think that would have some appeal to Wall Street.
Another team, and it could be one of the Cold War teams, you know. One of the Cold War teams, just to push themselves like further forward amongst ahead of the others, and then be a serious competitor to the Monkees.
Beijing has some solid prospects that they could move as part of that. Like they've got a reasonable replacement center fielder in Yao Wai Nai. He's got 2 pre-arb years. He's 26, good defense. They got a couple guys that could work in the rotation now, like Adel Hanov or Lefebvre. They're fragile, or they've got some warts, but like that would be like a complementary piece in the trade. Probably you're mixing in either Jordan Best or Tony Pearson, one of their top arms. They both have some upside at age 23, and maybe like another prospect like Bobby Bonilla. He's limited positionally, but he's got a solid bat. Maybe there's a first involved, maybe not. Like I think Beijing has the need for a player of that caliber and has some of the pieces they could move.
Yeah. But I want to see one of the Cold War teams go for him, just to burst that like division wide open. Because
you know who else? You know who else could be a suitor on that? Wuhan. Wuhan's got some prospects. They have a need. Like their center fielder is walking in a season, Casanova. Like
the issue is though for Wuhan is if they will make the budgetary space for him. You'd like to see Wuhan go for him because they
got like from the Meet the Team, they've got like what 60 million of space, but they're probably using all that in development or something stupid. Yeah. But I mean, like a Steve Beasley would make a big difference there.
It make like him a much closer, a contender to Pyongyang for the top of the Mickey Mouse.
Hell, like fun, weird season. Like, fuck Castlegar, man. Like, if Castlegar could put together a package, that's a player they could spend on.
Yeah,
they have some budget space after the moves they made. They have a couple cromulent like center fielders they could chip in. A couple elite prospects in the outfield like Yohomar Gade. Golden. He's 20. He's an elite prospect, one of the best in the league. A couple kind of fringy current starters or a couple more prospects. Like their pool isn't super concentrated on the high end, but it has a lot of depth to it. Like there could be some kind of package there too. Like I think there's a lot of teams that should be involved in this. Looking, I would think only the teams that are absolutely set in the outfield. Like if you were the Zabbys, I probably wouldn't spend the pieces.
The thing is also, it'd be more. The issue is like the big budget. It's much easier for the big budget teams. Like you could go for it on New Forest, for example, but New Forest have no budget space to like. It'd be good, but like it because it's a good hitter in the outfield, which they're struggling with. But like, are you gonna make the space to be able to pull in Beasley? You need to hope that your owner decides to go. Oh yeah, maybe 30 million will be nice to help you push for that playoff spot.
All right, so like if I'm putting these teams into tiers, I think Halifax and Pyongyang are probably going to be the most aggressive here. Yeah. I think there might be some outside interest from someone like Beijing. I think that there's some dark horses there, like Wuhan or Castlegar could be dark horses. That's like 5 teams right there that could be interested in that player. I think there's going to be more that could be interested overall, but there's also teams that are going to say, well, that's going to take a significant cost. How much better is he than the guys that I have, right? Like, I would imagine Sunnyvale probably isn't going to be super aggressive there. They have a former Gold Glover in center field. They've got a good outfield. Like, there's teams that are just not going to be interested because the acquisition cost or the budget cost. But I think there's 5 teams that have a credible interest on that one. Like some of the statements I've heard out of the Halifax organization, like that's a team that I think would be aggressive there. We'll see what happens. But like Steve Beasley's status as coming off of this significant injury and being as good as he was prior to injury, like this feels to me a little bit like a Jack Eichel. A little less uncertain because like Jack Eichel had surgery to be done still, but like it feels like an opportunity to grab a player at a fair cost but a reasonable cost that may not otherwise be available.
Yeah.
And if you were to acquire him on the free agent market, he'd be a $40 million player.
These players are not always available as well. Like this is like one in a every 2-3 years opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Former first overall pick as well. Like he's a good player. But anyways, I guess that's our hybrid podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no, the internet.
Oh no.
3 hours, 10 minutes.
This has been the RFBL Report with Bear and Pat Downsky. To find out more about the RFBL, including stats and history,